Hi, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the Business Analysis Workshop. If you can see me and hear me clearly, type CL in the chat box, guys, if you can see me and hear me clearly. Type CL. Please give me a confirmation, guys, so that I can go ahead. Thank you, Rajat. Thank you, Mahesh. Thank you, Nagraj. Thank you, Rohit. Thanks for that confirmation. So I'm Sajana Binil. I'll be the host for this particular workshop. I'm a career transition coach and I'm the founder of Interactive Learning Solutions. In this particular workshop, I'm going to discuss about how exactly you can plan your career move into a business analyst role. So three things which are very, very crucial for you to know how exactly you need to plan your career when you move into a business analyst role and how you can prepare yourself using the zero tech business analysis formula, which is an AI based engine. So that's what we are going to discuss. That's going to be the crux of our workshop. How exactly you can prepare yourself using this zero tech framework. That's something that I will decode in three simple steps, and we'll also see what is the process for requirement gathering in a software project. Okay. So we'll see the planning of your career. We'll see the preparation that goes into getting into a business analyst role, and all your queries will be answered here. We'll go around the table and answer each one of your queries that you have, career related queries. Okay. Before we get started, let me ask you three simple questions. How many of you want to experience growth in your career? Type CG. Type CG if you want to experience growth in your career. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. And how many of you want a better salary? Type SAL. Great. So many of you. So we have Sahiti, Varsha, Neha, Nagraj, Rajat, Mukesh, Anand, Desapriyan, Mukesh again, Rajat, Sakshi, Vinod. Welcome all of you guys. So if you're looking for career growth and salary, then you are in the right place, because this is going to be the crux of our workshop. This is what our workshop will revolve around: career growth and salary. So you are in the right place. And most of you already know that we are going to discuss career growth from the per se of business analysis profession. So many of you, I believe, are here to transition into a business analyst role. And that's the reason I'm going to give you a career roadmap here. Okay. How many of you are looking for a transition? Type T. Type T if you're looking for a transition. And how many of you are already BAs? If you are a BA, type BA. Okay. Santosh, Neha, Sakshi, Anand, Rohit, Sahiti is already a BA. Nagraj, Vishnu, Varsha, Chala. They are all for transition. Great, great. Great to have you here. So once I explain you the career roadmap, how the planning, what kind of planning you need to do, what kind of preparation you need to do, I'll also talk about my paid coaching system that can help you achieve your goals, that can help you achieve a career of your dreams. Okay. So that's net what our discussion is going to revolve around. And before we go ahead, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for investing your time and effort in this particular workshop. It's a Thursday evening. You might be returning back home from office, or maybe still in office taking client calls. But you decided to invest your time in this workshop, which itself means that there is some aspect of your career which you want to change, right? And that's what we together are going to make it happen. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Let me quickly introduce myself for all the people who do not know me. My name is Sajana Binil. I'm the founder of Interactive Learning Solutions. Interactivelearning.in is our company website. We have created the fastest growing community of business analysts here in India. So it's called the Business Analysis Hub. And this community consists of industry experts from various domains and working in different companies like, Capgemini, TCS, Accenture, Deloitte Consulting. So these are our students that are spread across different cities of India as well as different geographies, US, Canada. So Business Analysis Hub consists of all of those people. And we have helped more than 1,000 people move from non-IT into business analyst roles. And we have created something called as a zero tech business analysis framework for that. These are some of my certifications, CBAP certifications and Scrum certifications. I'm a certified business analysis and agile coach for over a decade now. 23 years of industry practice. And my last full-time role was that of an associate practice manager with the Business Analysis Center of Excellence in Emphasis Software. I was working for Emphasis Software in my last full-time position. In 2015, I left my full-time role and started my own coaching and consulting firm, which is called as Interactive Learning. Okay, that's in a nutshell about me. Let me also give you our website URL so that you can check it later. Not now, check it later when you are free. This is our company website. I'll take you through our website so that you know. This is our company website, guys, interactivelearning.in. We specialize only in business analysis. So we don't offer any other courses. We don't have any programming courses. We specialize in functional business analysis and career change, career growth, and certifications. So these are some of the courses that we offer. IABA certification courses, as well as we have the project implementation mastermind, which is our high-end capstone projects where students work for a duration of 3 months and experience what it is like to be a BA in a BA. They work on 2 projects, investment banking and insurance project. So they learn the step-by-step practical implementation of business analysis. So that's the project implementation mastermind. And I'll tell you more about this as we go ahead. But now quickly, let's dive into our main topic. Okay. So our first topic for today, the agenda for today, is how to plan your career move. Planning when you want to transition into a new role, planning is very, very essential. If you plan, you will have strategies, you will know exactly what are the next steps that you need to take, isn't it? But if you move to a role in a totally unplanned way, you will understand, you will realize later that you have a lot of skill gaps. You don't know to do several tasks that are assigned to you, and you'll be struggling actually in the project. So planning is very, very important, guys. And I will tell you my own experience, how it has been. In some time, I'll tell you that. But many of you might have also tried it previously without planning, without knowing a particular role. You jump into a role and then you struggle. You can struggle to make things happen. You struggle to complete the tasks that are assigned to you. So that's the reason planning is very important. So in planning, what are we going to discuss? Number one, in planning, first, I'm going to give you role clarity. So I tell my students that when you're moving into a role, you should have absolute clarity about what that role is about. What are the expectations of that role? How many of you agree with that fact? Type me in the chat box if you agree with the fact that you should have absolute role clarity. You should know expectations of the role. What happens if you do not have role clarity? If you do not have role clarity, firstly, you will not be able to complete the tasks that are given to you. Your manager will assign you several tasks, create the BRD, create the FRD. Your customer will ask you to do several things and you will not know how to do it because you did not plan for that move. You were just experimenting. So do not experiment with your career, guys. Always understand the expectations of the role that you're applying for, so that you're very clear that, yes, I'll be able to fulfill these expectations. Okay, so number one, we are going to talk about role clarity. After that, we'll talk about how the job market is looking like. What kind of opportunities are there for a business analyst? Okay, so that's number two. Number three, we'll also talk about the growth ladder. How, as a BA, you can grow in your career. What does the growth ladder look like? How many different roles and how many different designations are there in the career chart? And 5 years, looking at that growth ladder, you will be able to estimate 5 years from now, which exactly is the role that you will be in. Okay, so that's a growth ladder. Then we'll talk about the salary. Yes, that's also a part of our discussion. We'll discuss about the salary. And then we move on to a skill gap assessment exercise. Okay, where I will tell you what are the skills that are required to become a successful BA. And I will ask you to list down the skills that you have so that we can do a gap analysis. So you yourself will be able to articulate the skills that you have, which are transferable skills, which you can utilize in a BA's role. So once we have identified the transferable skills that you have, we'll be able to easily pinpoint what are the new skills that you need to acquire. Okay. And going forward, I'll tell you the strategy that you need to do in order to acquire the new skills. Okay. So that's planning involves all of this, guys. After planning, we move to preparation, where I will expose the zero tech business analysis framework for you and how it has made life easy for a person from non-IT moving into a BA's role, how using the zero tech framework, they can understand. It has simplified business analysis for them. Okay, so no more you need to worry about, okay, I don't have a technical background and everything. So I'm going to decode that. We will also see a demonstration of AI, how AI has been helping business analysts, how AI has been helping business analysts complete some of the mundane tasks that they get assigned to as part of their role. So you'll see the demonstration also, and then we will move on how exactly you can gain practice about all the skills that you require. Okay, so all of this is scheduled for today. All of this is scheduled. So let me first quickly go to the first slide and give you role clarity. Take a look at this slide, guys. Very, very important. You can take notes or you can take a screen grab of this. In all my workshops, I tell my students to take a lot of notes because there's lots of information coming your way. And if you do not take notes, you will not be able to follow. And you might forget several things that I already told you. So take notes and share it with your friends and colleagues so that they also get awareness about the business analysis profession. These workshops, guys, are awareness campaigns that we run so that more and more people come to know about the business analysis profession and they can make a calculated decision as to whether this profession is for them or not. So that's the reason. Take notes for your own reference as well as for sharing it with other friends and colleagues. Okay. Also, this is going to be a 2-hour workshop, guys. It's nearing 8 p.m. right now. We will go on to 10 p.m. Okay, 10 p.m. IST. Okay. So if you have made some prior commitments, please inform the respective people that you will be focused on this career growth workshop. This is very important to all of you that you understand the business analysis profession so that you can, tonight, I promise you that you will walk out of this workshop with a decision, with an important decision in your life. So, and for you to make that decision, you have to stay right till the end of this workshop. How many of you are ready to stay right till the end of this workshop? Type I am in, guys. Type I am in the chat box. I want to see the level of commitment in this audience here. Thank you, Santosh. Thank you, Nivedita. Thank you, Neha, Rohit, Mukta. Thank you so much. Thank you, Varsha. Thank you, Nagraj. Thank you, Rajat. We have a committed audience here. Thank you, Anand. Wow, that's great. So all every other person here is looking for career growth and salary, right? So you have to be very focused and attentive whether this particular profession can meet up to your expectations. You will get to know all of that in this workshop. So these are the responsibilities, guys. Coming back to the slide, these are the responsibilities. What exactly these responsibilities consist of? What exactly are these responsibilities? I'm going to explain in some time. Just take a note of this, guys. I'm going to pause for 30 seconds so that you can take notes over here, and I'll go one by one and explain you the responsibilities. Okay, so let me go ahead and explain. Number one responsibility, need assessment. As a BA, you will be expected to understand your customer's business need or problem, assess those business needs in order to understand what exactly are the challenges that he's facing. As BAs, guys, we are problem solvers. So we need to understand our customer's problem so that we can design a solution that can solve a problem. Stakeholder management, very, very important in our role. We have to liaise with multiple business units and multiple stakeholders. So coordination and collaboration is part of our role. So stakeholder management, very, very important. Requirements gathering, requirements analysis, documentation, and prioritization. Very important skills to have for a business analyst. This involves the entire requirement life cycle. So you should know how to gather requirements from your customer, how to understand his requirements. And once you have done that, you need to do analysis. We apply a lot of analysis techniques to those requirements. Some of those requirements we convert into visual models. We create mock-ups, we create process flow diagrams, use case diagrams, and a lot of visual models that comes under analysis work. Documentation, obviously, the BRD, FRD, the user stories that we do are part of documentation. So once the analysis work is over, we then start doing documentation of those requirements, and all of those requirements that are approved, they get into the prioritization bucket. So as BAs, we need to know what prioritization techniques apply to what kind of projects and where it can be used and how it can be used. So prioritization of the requirements is essential so that your delivery team knows which requirement has to go out for delivery when. Okay. Then we have change impact analysis. Most of our customers, guys, they are of the habit of making changes. They give us the requirements and then change it again, and then change it again. This frequently happens in IT projects. And when those changes are requested by the customer, we need to, as BAs, do an impact assessment to understand what is the level of impact of the change on the functional modules, how the change is going to impact the existing working modules. That is impact assessment. Manage user acceptance testing. It means as BAs, user acceptance testing is a phase where the business users start testing the application. Okay. And managing the user acceptance testing phase is so important for a BA, because if the business users like what they see, they will accept it. If they do not like what they see, they will reject it. Okay. So managing UAT, very, very important. End user training. In some projects, guys, the customers say, as part of the contract, once the application has been rolled out to us, you will also be responsible for training our end users on how to use the application. So if end user training is part of the contract, then as a BA, you will be delivering that training. Okay. So these are a broad level of responsibilities that a functional BA has. Now, these responsibilities, I have broken down these responsibilities into small buckets and put it here for simplicity of understanding. When you look at these responsibilities in a job description, it will consist of, for example, need assessment. They'll say that the candidate should be able to define business needs and create solutions that can solve those problems. Okay, so it will be your job descriptions have these responsibilities in a sentence format, but net it remains the same. For simplicity, I have put each of those responsibilities just in 2 words. Okay. Stakeholder management in a job description, they'll say should be able to liaise with multiple stakeholders and understand their needs. So this is how you have to connect. Okay. Take a note of this, guys. If you have noted this down, type done in the chat box. Thank you so much, Santosh, for your lovely message. Thank you so much. I read that. All of you who have completed noting it down, type done, guys. Okay. We have got majority of the dones now. Now let me talk about the job opportunities in business analysis and how does the market look like. Let me quickly go to LinkedIn jobs just now. And each one of you can do the same in your laptops. Go to LinkedIn jobs and search for business analyst in India geography. Okay. Just take a look at this, guys. A quick search in LinkedIn jobs for business analyst in India geography has yielded close to 3,300 jobs. Take a look at this number here. 3,352 to be precise. And this consists of business analyst jobs in all different levels, of course, senior BA as well as junior BA jobs, all mixed together. But this is the total volume that we are looking at, 3,352 jobs at the moment. Okay. Similarly, you go to other job boards also, you will see a similar kind of a pattern. You go to Naukri, you go to Indeed, you will see a similar pattern where there are easily 2,500 to 3,000 jobs for business analysts in India geography alone. Okay, so that's the volume that we are looking at. This is for all the people who have questions whether there are enough opportunities in the market. Okay, so that's the volume of jobs. Now, let me also tell you what kind of industries are hiring business analysts, what kind of companies are hiring business analysts. So when it comes to business analyst roles, which is the type of company that hires the business analyst most? Which company hires business analysts the most? Type in the chat box, guys, if you know which sector, let me say like that, which sector hires business analysts the most? PK says banking sector. Rakesh says consulting firm. Nagraj says IT manufacturing. Yes, go on, guys. Let's see if you know which sector hires business analysts the most. Product-based companies. Hmm? Rajat says product-based companies. Okay. So let me tell you, almost every domain, Aishwarya says, almost every domain needs an efficient BA. I like that sentence, Aishwarya. Nivedita, IT sector. Yes, you got it. I got the answer that I'm looking for. So, IT services, guys, IT services is one sector that hires BAs the most. This is because our business analysis profession is deep rooted into IT. It started from IT. That's the reason you'll see a whole bunch of hiring happening in IT services specifically. Now, besides that, there are product-based companies that hire business analysts. They are the second lot that hires business analysts a lot. So I'm going to bring up a screen which will tell you which are these companies that I'm talking about. So on the right-hand side, you'll see service-based company. That is the IT services. So all the TCS, Wipro, Infosys, Cognizant, Accenture, Capgemini, all of them are IT services. Okay. This is where bulk of the hiring happens. But the second category is product-based companies. So in fact, I should say product-based companies and service-based companies are in line with each other, more or less. Uh, Product-based companies are those companies which have their own products out in the market, like Google, Amazon, IBM, Flipkart, Facebook, Microsoft. These are product-based companies. Okay. So there are a whole bunch of our students working with Amazon's IT team. So product-based companies hire business analysts because they need analysts who can think about what kind of features will be beneficial for the users of their product. Okay. And that's what we as business analysts do. Then there are other sectors like the banks. PK mentioned banks. So banks, insurance companies, healthcare organizations, retail organizations, again, they have their own in-house IT teams. How many of you know this fact? How many of you are aware of this fact that every large bank has their own internal IT team? Type AW if you are aware. Every large bank has their own IT team now. Gone are the days of the old banks where there was no IT involved. Now every large bank has their own internal IT team. And what does the IT team do? The IT team is involved in building applications for their internal use. And they also need analysts who can tell their technical team what exactly is the application that has to be built. Okay. So you will see a whole bunch of opportunities from JP Morgan, business analyst opportunities from JP Morgan, Barclays, IDFC Bank, HDFC. So they are hiring for the RIT team, guys. And besides these, there are the big fours. Who are the big fours? Type in the chat box, guys. Which are the big four companies that I'm talking about? Yes, KPMG, EY, KPMG, EY, Deloitte Consulting. These are the big four consulting firms. Okay. Here also business analysts are hired. Several of our students are working with Deloitte Consulting. And I'll show you one such student who is already a part of Deloitte right now. Yes. So here, what we need to understand is that we as business analysts, when we are working across these different types of sectors, our job titles or our designations also differ. Okay. So you might come across a business analyst with the title of a process analyst. Many times people misunderstand thinking, okay, this is a process analyst is some other position. No, no, no. Our business analyst titles vary depending upon the sectors. A process analyst works on business process reengineering projects, but that person is also a business analyst because if you see the responsibilities, that's exactly a business analysis responsibility. So some of the business analysts work as process analysts, some as functional analysts, some as strategy analysts. So there are a lot of business analysts working in Deloitte Consulting as strategy analyst. Some of our students are working as product owners in Deloitte. Product ownership is again a business analyst position. It's an offshoot of business analysis. How many of you this was bulb on movement? Type BO. You never knew about this. This was a bulb on movement for you. Type in the chat box if you did not know about this. So that's the reason, guys. That's the reason we do these awareness campaigns, so that you come to know more about what kind of opportunities lie in business analysis and how exactly you can accelerate your career growth. So I'm also now going to bring up a slide which will tell you how the growth ladder looks like and what kind of specializations are there in business analysis. Okay. This is the growth ladder for a business analyst. So in a business analyst role, you can start off as an associate BA or a junior BA, then move on to a senior associate kind of a level, then become a lead BA product owner, then move, if your company has a business analysis center of excellence, you become an associate practice manager over there, and eventually a practice lead, VP, senior VP, and finally a CXO kind of a role. Okay. So this career ladder differs from organization to organization. Remember that, because every other organization has their own titles and different levels of progression. Okay. This is a typical career ladder that we find in IT services, which I've added over here. So if your organization is having a slightly different ladder, don't worry. That it differs from organization to organization. Now, here I've taken the example of an organization that has a separate business analysis center of excellence. That's the reason after senior BA, you become an associate practice manager, I have indicated. Okay, considering that your company has a business analysis center of excellence. Now, just like our company, in our company, after a senior BA position, we became associate practice managers of the business analysis center of excellence. Okay, but if your company does not have a center of excellence, then you can gradually move into the delivery line. Okay, so you can become a senior project manager, a delivery manager, even all you can also take in account level positions like the account manager, client relationship manager. All the client facing roles, guys, all the client facing roles at the senior level directly open out to you, because you are doing a client facing role right from the beginning of your career, isn't it? That's the reason BAs become very good client relationship manager. They become very good engagement managers, account managers. Account managers oversee an entire account. See, in the IT space for strategic accounts, like large investment bank or large insurance company, strategic accounts, there is a separate offshore development center. For people who are already BAs, they will understand. A separate ODC is created for strategic accounts, and then you need exclusive account managers who can oversee all the projects running in those accounts. So when you grow in your experience, you can reach up to the account manager's position where you are handling multiple projects in an account. You're overseeing multiple projects. Okay. Now let me also show you what are the specialization areas. What are the specialization areas in business analysis? So on the left-hand side, what you're seeing are different areas in which you can specialize in. So business analysis is something that you have to consider as the foundation or the base for each of these areas that you're seeing on the screen. So just like a student who wants to become a doctor, he has to pursue the medicine stream and complete MBBS, right? MBBS is the base level of degree for a doctor, after which they can get into any specializations, like they can become a cardiologist and specialize in that stream, or a dermatologist or ophthalmologist, whatever is their choice. Just like that, in business analysis, Using the same business analysis skills and knowledge, you can get into any of these areas once you gain a little experience. So product management, several of our students are working in product companies and they are now experienced and in product owner kind of positions. So there you can progress as product owner, product manager, become a product lead. Information technology, I have already showed you in the previous slide how you can move in the information technology space. Business process reengineering. Here you can enter business process reengineering projects as process analysts. Okay. So process analysts then move into a process consultant kind of a role, then manager, process leads, and then VP, senior VP levels. Strategy consulting, again, a very, very important stream of business analysis. Am I audible to everyone, guys? Am I audible? Type yes in the chat box if I'm audible. Some of you are facing some problems, I feel. Okay, loud and clear. Type LC if I'm loud and clear. If my voice is, I don't know if my voice is faint. Some of you were complaining about that. Okay, loud and clear. I go by with what you're saying. Sorry for the interruption. So strategy consulting. Many of you are interested in becoming consultants or advisors. This is another area that you can explore. You can join as a junior consultant, then move into consultant, senior consultant kind of roles. So, like I said, business analysts are called differently in different industries, different sectors. Understand that. Business intelligence space, here you can join as a BI analyst, then move into a BI consultant, BI manager kind of role, and eventually start heading an analytics division. Okay. This is the general progression that you will see in a BA's career, depending upon the area of specialization he or she chooses. Like when I say area of specialization, some students choose a area right at the beginning. Some people choose an area right at the beginning. Like some of our students were very, very focused and they were, when they started applying for jobs, they were looking at only product companies. They wanted to get into only product companies because they wanted to, after once they gain a little experience, they wanted to get into the role of a product owner, manager, and that was their focus. So they were looking at only product companies. Some people wanted to establish a career in IT services, and wanted to grow in that. So they started applying for only IT service company. Some of them targeted the big fours. Okay, in the big fours, they started off at a junior level position and then slowly got into consultant levels. Okay. So, right, you can choose right at the beginning of your career, you can pick any of these sectors, or you can choose to get into IT services first, build your base, become a good business analyst for 2 to 3 years, and then plan to shift. Okay. Any of these product companies or business intelligence or consulting firms, you can plan to shift that later. That's totally up to you. Like when I was working, when I became a senior BA, some of my colleagues who had joined along with me, they were also senior BAs and we had worked together for so many years. And we both, each of our colleagues had, each one of us had 6 years of experience as business analysts. So I choose to grow in the IT services lane. I choose to be in the same company. Some of them had aspirations to become product managers. So they moved into companies like Oracle and SAP, which were product companies. And they started working there as product owners and eventually started heading a product division after several years. So you can pick and choose at any stage of your career if you want to change into a totally different sector, and using the same skills, you can do that. That's the beauty of this profession, guys. How many of you feel that's cool? Type cool in the chat box if you feel that's cool. Thanks. Thank you for your sponsors, guys. Now let's look at the salary. Who wants to know about the salary of a BA? Type me in the chat box. Type me in the chat box if you would like to know what is the salary for BA. Okay, so let me bring that slide up. So what I'm going to tell you now, salary of a BA varies greatly based on the type of industry that hires you, whether you are hired by an IT services firm, a product company, a bank, insurance company, healthcare organization, or a consulting firm. Each and every sector has their own salary bifurcation, okay? They have their own way in which salary structures are created. So the BA salary varies greatly based on the type of sector that hires you. So there's no common salary range you can find. Okay. But still, I'm going to give you some pointers that will help you arrive on your own salary package. That if you apply, what is the level of salary that you can expect? Okay. So these factors will help you estimate for that. So number one factor, educational qualifications. Take this down. Number one factor for salary, education qualification. So when you are hired for a business analyst positions, companies also look into your educational qualifications, whether you're a graduate, you're a postgraduate, or you have done an MBA and specialized in finance, MBA, BBA. Depending upon the qualifications that you bring to this role, you are put in a different compensation package. So in the same company, you will find two BAs in the same level drawing a different salary package based on these factors that are put on the screen. Okay, you will see a wide range of pay variance based on these factors in the same company and BAs working in the same level. So educational qualifications is one. Previous experience, what does that mean? Previous experience does not mean the experience that you bring as a BA. Now, people who are transitioning into a BA's role, obviously they have never worked as BAs, right? But previous experience is the experience that you have gained in your current role, whatever your current role. You might be a sales and marketing guy. Maybe you have 5 years of experience in sales, or maybe 10 years of experience in bank or insurance company, or maybe you're a recruiter, human resource person. Whatever experience that you bring from your current role, that's the previous experience that we are talking about. And the third point, so based on your previous experience, the salary, the compensation package is arrived upon the previous experience. So companies, when they see that, okay, you are a 5-year experienced professional, they put you in a band and level that's appropriate for a 5 years experienced profession. Many of you have this concern that will my previous experience be nullified? No, your previous experience will not be taken away from you. It will be counted. So they are definitely not going to start you at the lowest band. So your previous experience will be looked at by the HR, and you'll be put in a band and level that's commensurate with the experience. So accordingly, your compensation package will be as per the band and level that you are in the organization. Knowledge of business analysis processes and techniques, very, very important. So as BA, when you apply for a business analyst position, and when you are giving an interview, you are being interviewed for a BA position, you will see most of the questions in the interview are scenario-based questions. How many of you will agree with this? That most of the business analyst interview questions are scenario-based. And me in the chat box if you agree. Yes. Why is it scenario based, guys? Because companies want to gauge your level of knowledge of business analysis. Using the scenario-based questions, they test how much is your knowledge of business analysis processes and techniques. So they in the interviews they give you a case study. They present a scenario and they say, okay, this is what's going on in this particular project. If you are the BA in this project, what will you do? How will you solve this issue? Okay. So nobody in a BA interview, none of the interviewers want to know what is requirement, what is business analysis. Nobody asks you textbook definitions because they know each one of you will mug it up and come for the interview. So in order to test your knowledge, how firm is your knowledge of business analysis process and techniques, they will ask you how you will apply a particular technique in a project scenario. And they do that because at the end of the interview, if they like you as a candidate, that is the input which goes from the hiring manager to the HR, indicating that if the candidate has very good knowledge, your compensation package is decided appropriately. So based on that, also your compensation package can go high or low. If you demonstrate very good knowledge of business analysis processes, you get a high package. If you show medium level of knowledge, not a great confident person, then you get a medium level package. So that's a key factor. And then certifications for the role. Yes, certifications for the role is very, very important. Certified candidates get 20 to 25% more than the non-certified ones. Okay. So these are a couple of factors that you need to keep in mind, and you can rate yourself based on these factors so that you can understand how the salary might be getting computed. Now, let me also show you an average range, guys. This is the business analyst average salary in India. Okay. What does this mean? If you are a junior BA, that is, you have 1 or 2 years of experience. If you join as a junior BA, your salary can be anywhere between 10 to 15 lakhs per annum. If you have 5 or more than 5 years of experience, you can directly apply for senior BA positions, which means your salary will be 16 to 20 lakhs per annum. And if you have more than 8 to 10 years of experience, product ownership is something that you can apply for, which is again an offshoot of business analysis, 21 to 25 lakhs per annum. Now, let me also tell you that this is the average salary in India, which means we are talking about what are the average business analysts in India earning. But I tell my student that we should be amongst the top 10%. What is the top 10% earning? The top 10% candidates, let's understand their skills. The top 10% candidates are those candidates who have very good knowledge of business analysis processes and techniques. They know the entire requirement life cycle. They are very familiar with business analysis tools, and they can crack any business analyst interview in just a few minutes. Okay. That's the cream layer of business analysis. And the top 10% who joins this profession can directly join at a package of 21 lakhs per annum. Yes, that's the top 10%. So several of our students have directly joined a product owner kind of role, business analyst come product owner kind of a role, and they are easily drawing about 21 lakhs per annum. They had 6 years of sales experience, so they did not bring any business analysis experience, but what they brought with them is either sales or banking experience, and they directly were placed in a senior level role because of their experience, and it got them around 21 lakhs per annum. So that's the cream layer, guys, where you are able to demonstrate good knowledge of business analysis processes. Now, let me also tell you what are some of the reasons that you should consider to become a BA. Consider, why should you consider being a business analyst. Number one reason I've already told you, you get a competitive salary. That means because we are in a client facing role, guys, we are paid a better compensation than the other counterparts in the project. That means your software developers, software testers, software developers, guys, they are the people who actually build the product. But the salary for the developer as well as the business analyst, if you compare, the analyst gets a higher compensation because we are in a client facing role. Every other company rewards the employees who take care of their customers. So understand this, guys. Understand. If you as a BA can keep your customer happy, if you as a BA can build a product that matches his expectations, that will be a game changer for you. If you are adding value to your customer, your compensation package, your raises, the salary hikes will come automatically. So that's number one reason. Number two reason why you should consider becoming a business analyst is career advancement and specialization. There are multiple options, which I told you. Product management, business intelligence, business process reengineering, strategy consulting. There are multiple options in which you can, multiple streams in which you can specialize and grow. Freelancing opportunities are immense in business analysts. That's the third point, freelancing. How many of you are looking for some freelancing work? Type FL. If you're looking for some freelancing work, let me see. So several of our students, guys, during weekdays, they are into full-time role as business analysts, and weekends, they have picked up small freelancing projects, which brings them ice cream money. I call it ice cream money because then though that's the money that they can spend it as they want. They can either spend it lavishly, or they can spend it to clear their loans, EMIs, whatever. So majority of the salary which comes out of their full-time role then goes into the bank. See, most of us, why today we are struggling with our expenses is because struggling with the income that we are drawing from the company is because our expenses have exceeded the income, isn't it? How many of you are with me on that type? Yes. If you are finding it problem to save money. So most of us are struggling with it because our expenses have increased than the income that's coming into the bank. So before the end of the month, if some of you would say by the middle of the month, the salary is gone, vanished, paying up all the bills, EMI, everything gone. What if you get some additional income that can help you manage those expenses, or maybe an additional income that can fetch you that family time where you can go out and have a good time with your family? That's the reason I suggest you can pick up some freelancing assignments. Freelancing assignments have a very relaxed timeline, so you don't need to rush about it. Relaxed timeline, you can submit that project work and gain some money out of it. So several of our students are doing that, freelancing opportunities. So freelancing opportunities are immense in a BA's role. There are a lot of freelancing opportunities. International work opportunities. How many of you would like to travel abroad? Type me in the chat box if you would like to travel abroad. Only one person? Here is a whole bunch of people. So when you are in a business analyst role, guys, you get immense opportunities to travel abroad. Because Aishwarya says it's her long time desire. So our role being a client facing role, guys, most of the companies place BAs in the same location as their customers. So you can choose to be an on-site BA where you are working out of the customer's premises, or at least working out of the customer's location. Majority of our customers in IT services come from US and UK. That's a major chunk. Okay. Then, of course, we have other geographies also. That's totally different. But US and UK are two major geographies where these IT projects are rolled out. Okay. So that's the reason when I was started working as a BA, I got a lot of opportunities to travel abroad. I traveled lots of places in Europe. Traveled to London, was in London for 1.5 years, then moved to Paris, Germany, Switzerland, traveled across the globe, especially because we were part of the European geography. We traveled in the European region a lot. So if you are a travel freak like me, you would like to travel to different locations, experience new cultures, work with the people over there, then you welcome to business analysis. Because business analysis gives you a lot of opportunities. Okay. But if you want to be here offshore due to family commitments or something like that, then you can choose the role of offshore BA. Every other project, you don't have to travel. Okay. Like, for example, when I was single, I traveled a lot across Europe, saw several places, worked with customers from different geographies. But once I got married and I had family commitments, I chose to be here in offshore. I told my manager I can't travel anymore. So he put me in offshore projects. I became an offshore BA and I used to collect requirements from the customers using conference calls and email communication. So we have a mix of projects in the IT domain. Some projects insist that the BA should be on site. So if you are open to travel, you can be open to those kind of projects. But there are some projects which say that, okay, the BA can be offshore because we don't have a budget to take the BA on site. So if you have family commitments, become an offshore BA. So how many of you are for on-site and offshore? Tell me. If you are for on-site, type ON. If you are for offshore, type OF. Okay, Rakesh is for offsite. Rest everybody for onsite. Nagraj is for both. We can try both. Great. With respect to when you're traveling through your company, the beauty of it is that you don't have to worry about anything. The visa and all the travel arrangements and accommodations is taken care of. You just have to pack your bags and get moving. That's it. That's the beauty of it. You don't need to worry about anything. Oh, Rajat is currently on site. Great. Which location, Rajat? And then we have recognition for last point, very important. Recognition and awards in a BA's position, in a BA's role, I feel comes much easier than the other roles. So what I used to do is all the appreciation emails that we get from the customer for important releases that we have participated in, important rollouts that we have done. Our customers primarily from US, UK, majority of the people I have worked from there, those geographies, they're very appreciative if the team has done a good job. So they send us these long emails, and I used to store these emails and keep it so that I can showcase it to my manager when the appropriate time comes and ask for that promotion or hike or the award. So when it comes to BA's roles, because we are front-ending the entire project, majority of the appreciation comes to us. Of course, in the back end, we have our development team supporting us. But I feel in a BA's role, we get that appreciation upfront from the clients, and that makes the job easier for us to pitch for a salary hike or a promotion. Yeah, Aishwarya says very true. Being a being a QA, there is no direct appreciation. Yes, appreciation motivates us better because we are customer facing. So all the appreciation, all the hard work might be done by the development and the testing team, but we are the person who's front ending the requirements, and we are the people who are seeing that the product matches exactly what the customer is looking for. So and the customer also knows that this is the person who is spearheading the requirement and directing the team. Okay, we play a very crucial role in the project, guys. We are the people who give direction to the project, and that's the reason all those emails come to us. Of course, as As a BA, I used to share it with my team also, saying that, okay, this was a collaborative effort and the client has appreciated your effort. But because of this recognition and of awards, we can easily pitch for that promotion and hike when the right time comes. And I'll talk about one such student who, within 6 months of getting into a BA's role, she got an award for exemplary performance as a BA. We'll see that. So let me bring this up. Take a look at this student, guys. Her name is Ria. She's today working as a business analyst with Blinken Company. Many of you might be knowing about Blinken. She moved from a sales role to a business analyst role. Okay. And in her, when she spoke to me the first time, she was getting burnt out in the sales role. She was given heavy revenue targets, and she was not able to achieve those targets. She was not getting any growth, and still she was stuck in a comfort zone. She told me that, ma'am, 5 years I'm stuck in this comfort zone because the management is very good. They are always guiding me, motivating me, and I have my friends and colleagues over here. So I was not able to take the decision to move out, but I'm getting burnt out. I've now had enough because this revenue targets is a little too high for me. And I'm very demotivated. I don't feel like getting up in the morning and going to work. Anyone experiencing that right now? You don't feel like getting up in the morning and going to work. So that's exactly what she told me. Once she was mentored and taught the step by step way in which a BA should work in the project, she moved into a full time business analyst role. She applied to Blinken and there she uh, got placed as a business analyst. And within 6 months of joining that project, she won an award for her exemplary performance as a business analyst, which was a big achievement for her. Coming from a sales background, she was like, she came back to me and she was in tears. She was like, ma'am, I never thought within 6 months uh, I will be appreciated in a role that I didn't knew ABCD about. I was from sales. I've never done business analysis. This was my first entry into IT, to the IT team. I had no knowledge of technical things. And here I got an award for exemplary performance as business analyst. She is today coaching her team members. She's coaching her team members on what are the best practices that a BA should adopt in the project. So she's coaching others in her company now. She's highly motivated. She has good work-life balance, no more running behind revenue targets. So she's not doing a field job anymore. She's saying, I'm having a peaceful job. I don't have to go to the field. I don't have to walk into so many companies to sell products. I'm now in a desk job where I have to talk to the customer, understand his requirements over conference calls, and then communicate to the technical team. I have my peace of mind, which is more essential for me. How many of you resonate with Ria's story? How many of you? Type me in the chat box. Great, so many of you. Sometimes you are stuck up in a role where you're just getting burnt out and you're not even motivated to get out from the bed every morning and go to the same job. But still, your mind doesn't allow you to come out of that comfort zone because you have worked in that company for so many years. Damn it, your mind says that stay here. So we will now start a skill gap assessment exercise in some time. We'll do a skill gap assessment so that you yourself can gauge whether you have the skills to take up this role or not. Okay, that's coming up. But before that, let me quickly tell you about my journey in business analysis. Is it okay if I spend 5 minutes telling you how I grew in the business analysis role? Type yes in the chat box if I have your permission for that. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. So I started off my career in the late 90s, guys. Okay, in the late 90s, there was an IT boom here in India, and most of you already know that. And every other person wanted to get into software development and go abroad and settle in US. So that was also my dream. I wanted to go abroad and settle, and so I chose the IT stream. I was placed in a startup firm as a software developer. Within few months of this particular job, within few months of joining as a software developer, I realized that programming and coding is not my cup of tea. My code, the program used to never run. They used to be my manager used to get mad at me, and I was all stressed out. You know, so I was just like in the same situation, like how each one of you are, not motivated to go to work anymore. Manager used to literally scream at me on the phone. So within 6 months, I quit. I decided to look for something that's aligned to my interest. Okay. That's when I stumbled upon the role of a content writer. Now, content writing was clearly not there in my agenda, but took up the role because I had to manage my expenses. I was also studying and also had some family obligations. So I picked up that role. Now, my work as a content writer was appreciated by the senior management. They loved my work. I wrote a lot of content for marketing brochures, pamphlets, collaterals, websites, and I got to work with the delivery heads on some very crucial proposals. I developed content for the crucial, some of their high value proposals. And work was very easy going for me. Work as a content writer was very easy going for me. And there was a lot of applause coming in, lot of appreciation and applause coming in, but there was no growth, no salary hike, absolutely zero salary hike. So while a lot of appreciation was coming in, there was I was not growing. My skills were eroding. I was eroding in a role, and I saw that there is absolutely no potential being a content writer here. Although this was happening, there was something else. I was slowly sinking into a comfort zone. How many of you today are in comfort zone? Type CZ, guys. What is comfort zone, guys? Comfort zone is a safety net which we sink into when we feel when our mind starts telling us this is our second home, the office is our second home, and you have your friends, colleagues here. So my senior management was very supportive. They used to guide me, make me aware of the mistakes that we are making, and there was no yelling and shouting over there. So I was at peace and in my job. It had become my second home, a comfort zone. And my mind used to constantly say that, why do you want to apply elsewhere? Maybe you will not get such a good environment over there. What if you are not able to prove your skills over there? We all have a lot of fears, right? We all have a lot of fears. So our mind works in such a way, guys. Anything that's new to our mind, will always resist. It will always resist. So any change, any type of a change is not acceptable to your mind. And that's the reason it tries to keep you in a comfort zone. So that's exactly what was going on. I was in this comfort zone. Although I understood my career is eroding, I was just not ready to apply for a new job, you know. But time flew. 4.5 years, 4.5 years in this role of a content writer. I was still in the same role and same salary that I was hired for, but I had not moved. In 4.5 years, I reached the tipping point, guys, and I decided to start applying for jobs. In my appraisal discussion with my manager, I told him that particular year, I told him very clearly that if you do not have anything for me this year also, I think I should start looking out. My manager understood that, okay, this time she is serious. So what did he do? He moved me into a different role. He told me that, okay, I don't have any second level role for a content writer. We don't have a growth ladder here for a content writer. So you become a business analyst. As a business analyst, you'll get enough growth. You're crying for a growth, right? You will succeed as a business analyst. But so that I became a business analyst through an internal movement. So I got into this role, guys, with absolutely zero training or induction of what a BA should be doing. Okay. And it was a totally unplanned move. And like I told you at the beginning, many of you, in my workshops, I tell you to plan your career move is all because of the challenges that I faced. I know what is the struggle that I went through. And that's the reason I don't want any one of you to move into this role in an unplanned way. So when I moved, I had no knowledge of business analysis. And the number one mistake that you make is you do not have role clarity and you still get into that role. So what happens is, of course, on a day-to-day basis, I was not able to complete my tasks on time and I didn't know how to do it. So the quality of those tasks was absolutely at ground level. So the quality was very, very bad. I didn't know how to write a BRD, FRD. I didn't know how to write user stories. I didn't know how to do visual modeling, flow charts and everything. Nobody taught me. So whenever my customer asked me to put something together, he asked me to write requirements. I would read some article on the internet, put something together, and send it across to him. Whenever he asked me to do a flow chart for this, I didn't know how flow charts have to be designed. So I've read some articles on flowchart and tried to put those flowcharts together and send it across to him. 90% of the time it backfired. Yes. And there were serious escalations around the quality of requirements in the project. Now, why does that happen? So this was my second mistake, guys. Second mistake is that when you do not know how to do that particular task, you try to grab some information from the internet and complete it. And why this failure happens, even today, you will see that there are loads of information on the internet. And each one of you might be swimming in YouTube 24 hours watching business analysis videos, but you're still getting confused. Type CF in the chat box if you're still getting confused. There is no scarcity of information. Information is there. Yes, so many of you. And why does this confusion happen? When there is information out in the internet, why does this confusion happen? It happens because all of that information that's there out there is conceptual information. Yes, step-by-step implementation of business analysis is lacking. There is no YouTube video or article who will tell you exactly how a flowchart has to be designed, how a step-by-step implementation of business analysis has to be implemented. Because every other IT project is different. So that the business analysis processes and techniques, when you use it in a particular project, it has to be slightly tweaked. You can't just read some theory and try to incorporate it in your project. And that's exactly what I was doing. And that's why things were backfiring. So 90% of the time, there were escalations and I was being rolled from one project to the other, obviously due to performance issues. And then I reached a particular point where I was put in a performance improvement plan. Yes, when you are in a performance improvement plan, guys, you are all stressed out because you have net 1.5 to 2 months to prove yourself. Otherwise, you are out of the organization. But for me, this PIP proved a blessing in disguise. Why? Because I was put under the mentorship of a senior leader, Gracie, and she used to review my documents. She used to review my flowcharts, the mock-ups that created, and she guided me in the right direction. Along with guiding, she for all the lousy work that I did, she literally shouted and yelled at me. So there were times during those times I used to sometimes go back to my desk and cry for all the yelling and shouting that is being the kind of torture that is being imposed on me, and I thought I'm totally out of the organization. But during that phase of during that phase of my career, I took an important decision that I'm going to come out of this phase. I was determined that I will do whatever it takes to come out of the situation in my career, because I knew I was in a role that had a high growth potential, and I was just not ready to relieve that role. I said, okay, I will put in extra hours, slog, and make the corrections wherever required as given by my mentor. I put in 13 to 14 hours daily to correct the mistakes, to sit with the team and explain some production defects. In that particular phase, guys, we fixed it around close to 90 to 95 production defects we fixed, you know, and all with due efforts from my team as well as myself, guidance from my mentor, all respect to my mentor. But at the end of 2 months, when my mentor handed over that letter to me and said that, the client has appreciated the work that you have done, and you can now stay with us for a long, long time. That was the compensation for everything. That compensated all the torture that I went for, went through in the 2 months, So at that particular juncture in my career, guys, I took an important decision. I took an important decision that I will come out of this phase, and that made me work so hard. I slogged it out, and I was able to achieve it. Through under her guidance, under my mentor's guidance, my senior leader's guidance, I went on to take some advanced level certifications later on, which accelerated my career like hell. So from an associate BA, I moved to a senior associate BA. Couple of years later, I became a senior BA. I took some additional certifications there also and moved on to become the head of a business analysis center of excellence. All due respects to my mentor, all due respects to the yelling and shouting and the torture that she put me through. How many of you would like a mentor like that in your life, who literally pushes you to action? Who literally pushes you. Till that time, guys, in a BA's role, I was experimenting and I was not taking action. I knew that I was making mistakes, but I was not taking the appropriate actions to learn what I did not know. I did not take the appropriate action. And that's the reason, finally, universe pushed me into a PIP. Yeah, something I felt an invisible hand pushed me into this PIP, because I was not seeking out help to acquire the skills that I do not have. And in going through such a bad phase in my career, made me take that action, that required action, which propelled my career ahead. How many of you would like a mentor like that in your career, in your life, who will handhold you and take you through the step-by-step implementation of business analysis and tell you this is where you're going wrong? Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. So thank you for listening. And that was my journey, guys, from a content writer to a business analysis coach today. So once I started heading the Business Analysis Center of Excellence, I realized that I need to connect with the ground level BAs who are at a junior level and struggling the way I used to struggle. I need to impart my knowledge to them. I choose to be the mentor that my mentor was. I choose to become Gracie, who used to mentor me on a daily basis and shout and yell at me for all the mistakes that I made. So that's when I chose to get into coaching. And my mission today, guys, is to help at least 1 million working professionals build successful careers in business analysis. This is my mission. This is a single most mission that which I am working towards. Type with you if you are with me on this mission. Type WU. Type WU, guys, if you are with me on this mission. Anand, recording locally is not allowed. Sorry. And yeah, this I mentioned about the responsibilities of a BA. Just bringing up the slide so that if you have missed it, you can take a look at this. Now we'll get into skill gap assessment. These are some of the skills that a BA should be having. Take a note of this, guys. Very important slide. As a BA, you need to have good communication skills. Coordination and collaboration is very, very important in our role. We handle so many stakeholders, some of a very senior level, some junior level staff. Our communication skills are very, very important. Problem solving and analytical skill, again, a very important skill a BA should be having. Like I already mentioned, as a BA, you will be solving problems for your customer. So if you have good problem solving skills, you will do an excellent job as a business analyst. Knowledge of business analysis techniques, knowledge of requirements management, knowledge of business analyst tools, some of the tools like Jira, Visio, MS Office, very, very important for a BA to know. Okay. So as a BA, you should be knowing how these business analysis techniques have to be applied depending upon the type of project that you are in, depending upon the complexity of requirements that you are handling, the kind of stakeholders you are handling, the techniques that you apply will vary. So if you read the big book of business analysis, it has around 50 odd techniques. Of course, you're not going to apply all the 50 techniques in your project, isn't it? We have to pick and choose those techniques which will work for your project. So that's what knowledge of business analysis techniques is. And knowledge of requirements tells you how to handle requirements in a software projects. Okay, so these are the skills that you should be having. Now, out of this skill bucket, I want each one of you to indicate which are the skills you currently have. Skill number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can indicate the numbers 1 and 2 or 1 and 3. Indicate in the chat window, guys, and let's see how many of you have the skills that are required for the job. Okay, so we have Aishwarya saying 1 and 2. We have Nivedita 1 and 2, Neha 1 and 2, Santosh 4, Rakesh 2 and 3. Rajat is using Jira, so he spoke about Jira. Right. So you will see many of the people who are transitioning into a business analyst, they will always vote for skill number 1 and 2. Because obviously skill 3, 4, and 5 are acquired skills, isn't it? They are acquired skills. You will not have skill number 3, 4, and 5 if you are not a BA. If you are a person coming from any other role, obviously you will have skill number 1 and 2. So the good news for you is you can easily acquire skill number 3, 4, and 5 because they are learnable skills. Everybody type learnable in the chat box. They are learnable skills. Now I'm going to take you through a table which will make you aware of some very important skills you also have. Along with these skills, what are the additional skills each and every role brings to the table? Now is an exercise. This is an exercise for you to list down your transferable skills. Okay. So I have done for 3 roles here. Sales and marketing. If you are from sales and marketing or business development, Then obviously the first two skills we already spoke about. You have communication skills and problem solving skills, and analytical thinking is very, very good. We know that people from sales and marketing, they have good communication skills. Your domain and industry knowledge is also very strong, because if a sales guy doesn't know the industry that he is serving, he'll not be able to sell any product. They need to know their competition. They need to know what products exist in that particular domain, and what's the customer's behavior, what are the challenges the customer has. In order to sell a product, a sales guy needs to know that. So industry knowledge is good. Client handling skills obviously goes without saying. Client handling skills are good. Negotiation skills and facilitation skills. Facilitation skills are skills required to drive a meeting. So sales guys are always negotiating, facilitating meetings. These are some of the transferable skills sales, marketing, and business development guys bring. What about banking, insurance, and healthcare? Take a look at that. If you are from any of these sectors, you are a domain SME, obviously. You have worked in a bank for 10 years, you know the bank's internal processes. Insurance company, you know the insurance processes. Problem solving and analytical thinking is obviously very high in these roles. Communication skill might vary based on whether you are in a customer front-ending role in a bank or you are in back-end operations. So communication skills, that's why I have moved it a little lower. So you might be having good or average communication skills, depending upon the role that you're doing in the bank or the insurance company. Client handling skills, again, will vary based upon your role in the bank. Support role. If you are into customer support or technical support, obviously the first three skills go without saying: communication skills, problem solving. You also bring in industry knowledge. Now, industry knowledge here means what? As a support person, you might be supporting a particular product or application. You have good knowledge of how that product is used in the industry, because otherwise you'll not be able to take the support calls, right? When you call customer support and you say, I have so and so issue with your product, they should be knowing about that particular product. Otherwise, they will not be able to resolve your issue. So that's a domain knowledge that you bring to the table. Negotiation skills, facilitation skills, again, very good in a support role. They constantly need to negotiate certain terms with the customer, ask them for more time to resolve a issue or whatever. So negotiation, facilitation skills, again, a good fit for a support role. What I want each one of you to do is, you might be from a different role than this. I want you to look at this table and create a list of transferable skills that you bring to the table, which can be utilized in a VA's role. This is a very important exercise, guys. Don't take it lightly. I want you to take some time. I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I will pause here. Just create a list for yourself. That will give you enough confidence to take that first step. So complete this exercise, guys. Take a look at the table and list the transferable skills you have. You can add additional skills also, whatever skills, additional skills that you bring from the role that you are into. Okay. So I'll give you 30 seconds, guys, and put that list in the chat window so that we can read it out and we can share it with others. So others also understand what are the skills that so when one of the person writes the list, we can share it, and the others will understand, okay, this is how we also need to create a list. So be that first one, put it in the chat window, guys. I will read it out. Okay, great. We have a list here. Great. Let me read it out. So Rakesh says problem solving analytical skills. Aishwarya says communication, problem solving, analytical, effective documentation, very nice, domain knowledge and feedback for betterment of the product. Very nice. Good list, Aishwarya. Rakesh says domain knowledge and communication. Neha says communication skills, problem solving, client has handling skills, domain and industry knowledge. Very good. Well done, Neha. Meenakshi says communication, problem solving, domain knowledge, and facilitation. Good, good job. So this is the beauty of being attending a workshop like this. You get a lot of clarity. How many of you did not find this kind of information on the internet, where somebody's sitting with you and breaking down these skills and telling you, okay, this is something that you can correlate with the role that you're doing. That's the kind of clarity that I want to bring in these kind of workshops. Yeah, facilitation skills are skills that are used to drive a meeting. See, as a business analyst, you will be the host for the meeting, right? So you have called for the meeting, so you should be able to start the meeting with the agenda and drive it and see that the meeting goes in the right direction. So ensuring that the meeting does not digress from the main topic. That's facilitation skills. Also, some of you can add presentation skills also. Because presentation skills is also utilized in a VA's role. Thank you so much, Aishwarya. And I'm going to run a quick poll, guys, while the others are preparing their list. Let me run a quick poll. This poll just mark the current role that you are in the organization, so that if you are coming from a different role, we can discuss that towards the end, and I can give you more ideas around what kind of transferable skills are coming from your role. Okay, just click on the poll and click on your current role in the organization. Okay, great. We have sales and marketing, we have software developers, we have customer support also. Quickly, I will close the poll in some time. Before that, mark your role. Okay, we have homemakers as well. We have some students also. We have 5 people from support. We have 33% of support and 25% of sales and marketing. Software developers, BAs. Great, I've just closed this poll now. Thank you so much for participating in this poll. Thank you so much. Okay, let's move on further. So where is the gap, guys? Now that we have done a skill gap assessment, we have understood that there is a whole bunch of skills that we bring to the table. We definitely have a whole bunch of transferable skills, but the gap lies in understanding the business analysis processes, the requirements life cycle, and some of the BA tools. So you need to be familiar with BA tools and techniques, requirements life cycle, and the different business analysis processes that are used. That is the gap that you need to fix. So now we are very clear where we stand, what transferable skills we have, and what we need to fix, isn't it? And how can we fix this gap? We can fix this gap by learning, by upskilling ourselves in order to acquire the new skills. So your earning will always be equal to your learning. This is what my mentor told me. So at that difficult phase in my career, my mentor had given me this important message that your earning and your growth will always be equal to the learning that you give yourself. So the way we can fix this particular gap is by upskilling ourselves and acquiring new skills. The difference between high achievers and people who live a mediocre life and a mediocre career is that the high achievers have high determination. This is an important lesson that I learned even in my even during my difficult phase of my career. Is the determination to come out of that particular phase is something that kept me going. Although there were so many low moments where I cried due to the yelling and shouting, I literally felt my management was all against me. They wanted to throw me out of the company, and that's the reason they were conspiring against me. That's what I felt because of the shouting and yelling I used to get every day. That's what I felt. But I had the determination that I will do whatever it takes to make it happen. And that determination had won the game for me. That determination proved to be a game changer for me. So would you like to see a person who was equally determined to make it happen for themselves? A person who lost his job, who lost his job and then became a business analyst in a very big MNC. Would you like to see such a person who was absolutely broke, but his determination was not broken? Type yes in the chat box if you would like to see that. So let me show you Pranay. Okay, so Pranay is based out of Pune, guys, and he was laid off. Last year in January, he was laid off. He was a recruiter, okay, and when he was laid off, he was completely disappointed, disheartened. He was in the lowest phase in his life. And to add to it, his wife was expecting, and his wife was the only earning member in the family. So he was unemployed, and that particular time, he decided to change the role and look for the role of a business analyst instead of getting into recruitment once again. So Pranay told me that even when he was working as a recruiter, he felt that his skills and talent is not aligned to the role that he's performing in the organization. He felt that his skills and his potential can be utilized much better way in a different role, but he didn't knew which role. So when he was laid off, he said that I thought this is an opportunity for me to look out for something that's much more aligned to my interest and my skills. So he was constantly under the pressure to find a job as soon as possible. And he was experiencing a low phase in his life and career. He had a dream of building a career in IT, and that's simply what kept him motivated to try out different roles in IT. And eventually, he narrowed down upon business analyst role. So he met up with me, and he said that I want to learn the step-by-step implementation of business analysis from you. Today, he's working as a business analyst in Capgemini. And he's a senior BA, guys. He directly got into a senior BA position. That's the beauty of it. Because of the level of confidence and the level of knowledge that he demonstrated in the interview, he was able to win a senior level position in the IT firm. He's today highly motivated. He received a 40% hike in his salary. Yes, 40% hike in his salary. This is the story of determination. where a person was totally unemployed, but he did not lose hope. He kept going. He said, I will upskill myself. I'll acquire all the knowledge that's required to get into a BA's role. And so that I'm ready when the role comes, when the job comes in front of me, I don't have any skills lacking in me. So he prepped himself, ensured that each and every skill he understood from me, what are the gaps that exist in his skills. And then he upskilled himself and started applying for BA positions all around. Within 2 months of application, he received offer letter from Capgemini. His case study, his entire interview is a part of my website. You can go and watch his interview. A very beautiful, inspirational story, guys. A very inspirational journey. It is a long interview that he has spent a good amount of time explaining the entire process of interviewing and how he was in the lowest phase of his life, everything. You can go and watch this later. How many of you feel that this is really cool? Type cool in the chat box if you feel that's really cool. Now, when it comes to transition, guys, there's a lot of fears students bring to the table. Now I'm going to break down each of your fears. Okay, we will attack the fears. Some of the questions are there in your mind. You're constantly asking these questions. And these are the questions that we will answer in today's workshop. So let me bring up those questions. And in 5 minutes time, we will get into the Zero Tech Business Analysis framework, where I'll show you a demonstration of AI, how AI can be utilized in business analysis. I'll show you to you in 5 minutes time. Let me first quickly go through the slide of fears. Now, there are some myths around business analysis, and that's what this slide is talking about. Some of you might be thinking, I don't have programming or technical skills. How can I succeed as a BA? How many of you have this question in mind? Raise your hands. I don't have programming or technical skills. Yes, many of you. So let me tell you, business analysis, you'll find business analyst roles as two types of roles. So there's a technical BA role as well as a functional BA role. Okay, technical BAs, along with gathering requirements and handling the requirements of the project, they also need to do programming and coding. Some amount of programming and coding is expected from for a technical BA. But if you are a non-techie like me, should you apply for a technical BA role? Yes or no? Type in the chat box, guys. If you are a non-techie like me, I was a content writer. I did not bring any technical skills. No, you should not apply for a technical BA position. You should apply for a functional BA position, because functional BAs are purely spearheading the requirements of the project. So they are the people who ensure that the product is built as per the expectations of the customer. So we understand the customer's requirements and break it down into different scenarios and translate it into functional requirements. So don't worry about programming skills. In a functional business analyst role, you don't need it. I don't have domain knowledge. Now, if your current role gives you a domain flavor, then it's good. You are at a good place. But if you're coming from a role like my role, content writing, I did not have any domain knowledge when I entered business analysis. Some of my students come from roles like graphic designers. So they don't bring in any domain knowledge. So in that case, the company gauges you based on your business analysis knowledge, and you are placed in projects which are less domain intensive. So don't worry about domain skills, guys. There's no rocket science. So once you get into a project, you will automatically get the domain knowledge that's required. So don't worry about it when you are an entry-level BA. When you become a senior BA, obviously you need to have good amount of domain knowledge. Will I lose my previous experience? No, you're not going to lose. Will I get a pay cut if I get into a BA's role? No, you will not get a pay cut. Companies when they like you as a candidate, they ask you what is your current CTC so that they can arrive on the new CTC. And the new CTC is never lesser than the current CTC. So don't worry about this. I don't have good communication skills. What does that mean? How many of you have challenge with com skills? Type com. If you have challenge with communication skills, let me tell you, as a business analyst, your com skills, you can start with average level of communication skills. When I started off as a BA, I used to be relatively quiet in client meetings because obviously I didn't know what to ask the customer. So I was to be relatively quiet. But your com skills improve through exposure because our role involves a lot of meetings and talking to people. You will see gradually an improvement in your com skills. So don't worry about it. Average level of com skills is a good fit. You don't need to be an excellent orator. Business analysis and business analytics. How many of you feel this is same? If you feel it's same, type same. If you feel it's different, type different. Let me see how many of you are clear on this. Okay, Nivedita says same. What about the others? Type same or different. What do you feel? Okay, we are getting a mixed response here. We are having same, different, same. So let me tell you guys, business analysis and business analytics are two different streams. Do not confuse. They are two different streams. Okay. Business analytics is all about studying the data patterns and drawing visualization dashboards for senior management. That is analytics. Business analysis, on the other hand, is understanding the customer's requirements and converting it into functional requirements and explaining it to the technical team. That's what business analysis is all about, understanding the customer's needs, its problems, and devising solutions for that. So after today, anyone asks you, please tell business analysis and business analytics, two different streams. They're not the same. So all the job postings where you're seeing a mention of R programming, Python, Power BI, Tableau, those are analytics jobs. They're not business analysis. They're looking for an analyst who can work on their business intelligence project. That is analytics division. Got it? I hope you are with me so far. Now, when it comes to fears, these are not the only fears people bring to the table. These are not the only fears. I remember one of the students in our workshop told me that she's in a sales job and she's getting absolutely burnt out. And she wants to move into a BA's role, but she doesn't have time. She told me that I work for 13, 14 hours a day and I don't have time to upskill myself and then get into this role. So from the past 3 years, I've not been able to transition as a BA. How many of you feel time is an issue, guys? How many of you feel time in as a response in the chat window? Type time, guys. So people say that they do not have time. Then what are the other problems that people cite? Time is an issue. Money is an issue. Skill. I don't have the skills to get into this role. I didn't find the right mentor. Time, money, skills. I didn't mentor issues. I didn't have the right courses. These are all resource issues. What if you have been giving yourself these excuses? These are resource issues that you're talking about. So as a mentor and coach, I say that resources are never an issue if you are resourceful. It will never be an issue if you are resourceful. What does that mean? Sit back and think about a time when you were determined to make something happen. And you said that I will do whatever it takes to make it happen for myself. And you made it happen. So resources are never an issue. Resources never stop us. It is our determination. determination to take action, ability to take action that stops us. Okay, these excuses crop up in our mind when we are resistant of a change. Like I say, our mind continuously keeps us in a comfort zone. It tries to keep us in a comfort zone. In order to keep us in the comfort zone, it brings in these excuses. All these excuses crop up in our mind when we want to be in a comfort zone. Just think about it. How many times you have decided to lose weight and decided to start a new exercise regime or follow a diet, go for yoga or something else, get yourself a trainer. You did it for a couple of days or a couple of weeks. After that, you are back to square one. How many of you relate with that? Type yes in the chat box. Type yes in the chat box. You tried several things, but then you were back to square one. Yes. Why does that happen? It happens because when you are trying out a new exercise or a diet or a new exercise, your yoga routine, you're trying to make a change in your life. And your mind is totally resistant of change. It tries to bring you back to the same laziness. It tries to bring you back into the same zone where you are comfortable. There are no pains. When you are in a comfort zone, guys, there is no pain. And your mind always likes to be in a no pain zone. That's the reason any change that we try to make in our life or career, even when we try to get into a new relation, there will be you at the beginning of the relation, you will have a lot of trust issues. Is this guy good for me? Is this girl good for me? Is she trustworthy? Your mind will try to keep you in a comfort zone. Maybe you should not trust that person. So each one of you here in this workshop, guys, has the capability to work towards your dreams. I know each one of you has the potential to do that. It just takes a moment to decide and start. Yes, it just takes a moment to decide and start. Several years ago, in my career, I took an important decision. And that decision has made me the person that I am today. So it's a decision that changes your life. How many of you today are ready to take a decision? Type ready in the chat box if you are ready to take a decision. But because just like you, thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Just like you, there are some of our students who took the right decision at the right stage of their careers. And I would like to meet some of those students so that you can understand how an important decision taken at the right stage in your career can literally change your entire life and career. So take a look at these students, guys. And the big question that you need to ask yourselves is, if they can do it, why can't I do it? That's a big question that I want you, each one of you, to ask. Just give me a moment. I will bring up a video where there's a bunch of students who are coming from exactly the same role that you are currently in. Some in sales job, some in customer support, some in banking roles, software developers. Take a look at that and ask yourself this question. Just give me a moment. I'll bring it up, guys.
The program, it helped me to get certified. But to be honest, I could see the improvement in the quality of work that I was giving out, I was delivering to my team. I've already appreciated it so many times, and the way you used to share your own experiences. Sometimes I also face those experiences, but I know how to deal with them because I heard you on the classes.
So in my previous role, I was a technical writer. And when I decided that I wanted to get into a different role where I can do a bit more logical thinking, I can see that it's starting to help me understand the why and what are the benefits of actually having these processes there.
The moment I joined the class, I understood this is going to be very nice, and I would love the class itself. So it gave me a lot of knowledge, it gave me a lot of skills, a lot of techniques to do what I was doing currently better.
Actually, career growth is the main reason which I wanted to have a switch to it. Personally, it actually helped me is believing in myself. I could see a progressive transition in myself actually. I got around 50% of hike on my fixed income actually.
So after a long gap of around 15 years, maybe you can say, I've come back and I thought right now in Canada, the boom of IT and all the other fields is definitely into it. So I wanted to try my hand back into IT, but I'm not a person of coding. So commendable the way you're teaching, your kind of approach, and your communication was so clear and crisp. It was very simple to understand. So I said, I want to go into this kind of class.
So those were some of our students, guys. Those were some of our students. So as a coach, I always say that I can give you the knowledge, the skills that are required, but the hard work and determination should come from your side. Each one of these students who have achieved their milestone, they had the hard work and determination to make things happen for themselves. You saw Ria, whom I spoke about a little while ago, Ria from a sales job, how happy she was. Her face was totally lit up. Gone were the days when she was totally burnt out in that sales job. But now she is, you can make out that she has an excellent work-life balance. She got an award for exemplary performance in the project as business analyst, be coming from a sales background. Each of these case studies are a part of my YouTube channel. You can see the full length video of these students, guys. You saw Sirisha, who was a tester's role. In a tester's role, Sirisha today is working with Deloitte Consulting, guys. It was her dream job. It was a dream come true for her. So the only difference or the only distance between high achievers and high performers and the people who are doing mediocre level jobs is this determination. Determination and that openness to make a change in their life, to adopt, to embrace change in their life. How many of you today are ready to take that decision? And how many of you are ready to put that effort to give yourself 60 days to become a business analyst? Type me in the chat box. Thank you so much, guys. Let us then move on to the preparation phase. Let's see how we can prepare you. Okay, let's move to the preparation phase, guys. So preparation of our students, we do using the Zero Tech Business Analysis Framework. What is the Zero Tech Business Analysis Framework? Well, the Zero Tech Business Analysis Framework consists of a bunch of templates that we provide to our students so that they are not confused as to how to do the documentation. Our BA world involves a lot of documentation, guys. So everybody's confused how to write a BRD, how to write an FRD, and how to write how to create a process flow diagram. So Zero Tech Business Analysis Framework works on certain formulas, certain templates, and now we have incorporated AI engines into it, which means using AI, using artificial intelligence, now certain mundane tasks of documentation can be easily done by a non-IT business analyst, a person who's moving into business analyst role. which means you don't need to now deep dive into business analysis and learn all the all the complex scenarios in an IT project, because several of the documentation can now be automated using AI tools. So let me give you a demonstration. How many of you are ready for a demonstration? Type demo in the chat box if you are ready for that. Okay, so let me take you to Chat GPT. Just hold on. Let me open the screen here, guys. And let's ask ChatGPT to create some requirement gathering questions. Okay. And before that, before we ask ChatGPT to create some requirement gathering questions, let me also brief you on the requirements process in the project. Okay. Let's say you have been hired as a business analyst in an IT project. How will you gather requirements from the customer? This is very important, guys. Take a note of this. When you are called for a requirement gathering session, as a BA, you need to do a lot of preparation. Understand that. So step one, always read source documents that are given by your client. Read the source documents and understand, because the source documents contain a wealth of knowledge and many of the BAs are too lazy to read these documents. Too lazy, and you go to the meeting as a blank slate, which is enough to piss your client, which is enough to frustrate your client, because you have come like a blank page into the meeting and you are asking all the questions which he has already put in a document and send it across to you. Isn't it? So step number one, read the source document and prep yourself for that meeting. Step number two, set an agenda for the meeting. Set an agenda for the meeting. Agenda for a meeting is important because it ties the scope of the meeting. So as a business analyst, you will experience this frequently, that when you do not set an agenda, your customer tries to digress from the meeting. He does not do it intentionally, but unintentionally, several times we start discussing several other issues and the requirements discussion doesn't happen. So set a tight agenda for the meeting. Third, very, very important, identify the right stakeholders. That means, as a business analyst, you might be talking to several business units for the same application, for the same project. Multiple business units will be there. You should know which stakeholders should participate in which requirement gathering session. If you call the wrong stakeholders, you will get the wrong requirements. This has happened to me several times. I ended up calling the wrong stakeholders, only to realize that these guys had no understanding of what is going on in the project. So they shouldn't have been invited, because if you call the wrong stakeholders, they will start giving their ideas, and when their ideas and suggestions are not required in the project. Okay, so identify the right stakeholders. The next step, prepare a requirement gathering question list before the meeting. So one day prior to my requirement gathering meeting, I used to create an exhaustive list of questions. Have the questions ready, guys. Again, if you are walking into a requirement gathering session without a question list, it shows how unprepared you are for that meeting. Because on the spot, you will not get any questions to ask your client. This is exactly what used to happen when I used to go for requirement gathering sessions. I used to be relatively quiet in those meetings, and my customer used to wonder, as a BA, why is she not asking questions? My customer used to really wonder, why is she not asking questions? Who is going to ask me questions? And in the worst case, what I used to do is in some of the meetings, I used to take my technical lead along with me. Who is doing that? Any BA who's doing that, understand, guys, if you take the technical lead along with you in requirements meetings, he will walk away with the cake. Yes, he is not supposed to drive the meeting. You are supposed to drive the meeting. So, fourth point, very, very important. Create the question list so that you have something to talk to the customer, isn't it? It shouldn't be that the customer is going back, and you are just, yes, yes. If you're doing that, you're no good than the waiter in the restaurant who's taking an order and passing it on to the kitchen. Don't be a waiter. Be a business analyst. So that's the fourth point, very, very important. The fifth point, if there are any logistics to be arranged, for example, the meeting room should have a whiteboard, video conferencing facility, any kind of logistics, please arrange for that before the meeting. Don't run around when the meeting, during the meeting time. Okay, so if you need some whiteboard or any other facility, ensure that it is ensure that the meeting room is also blocked for that time. These are very little things, guys, but these little things will derail your project. If you do not book the meeting room and you do not, all the meeting rooms are blocked, you will have to reschedule that meeting. And many times we don't get time on the customer's calendar for the next level of meeting on that entire week. Then we have one more week is consumed in that. These are the little things that derail the entire project. Now, let me take you quickly to ChatGPT, guys, to do the fourth task of creating requirement gathering questions. Take a look at this here. So here, I'm going to ask ChatGPT to create some requirement gathering questions for an e-commerce website development project. So I've asked ChatGPT to create requirement gathering questions for the shopping cart features of the website. Give me top 10 questions. Let's see what is the response. Take a look at this, guys. Look at the beauty of it. A broad level of question list is created over here. UX, user experience questions. What are the demographics of your customer? Can you describe the user's journey? Do you have any specific design preferences? Product catalog. How many products do you anticipate on the website? Will there be variations of product? Do you have any specific categorization? How do you handle pricing? Are there any special pricing structures? How will product availability be managed? What happens if a customer tries to purchase a product that's out of stock? Which payment gateways? Take a look at this broad list of 10 categories: integration requirement, analytics, security requirements, account management requirements. That's a broad list that has been generated by ChatGPT. Now, if you were to do it in the manual way, a beginner BA doing this in the manual way will at least consume 1 day to create a 10 category of questions, because you have to think and write and you'll take breaks. So it will at least consume you 1 day. Now, using ChatGPT, you can do it in few seconds. Isn't it? How many of you feel that's cool? That's why I say these tasks of creating questions, the task of writing requirements now can be automated using AI. That's great. So what is possible using AI? Now, using AI, we can do a business need assessment. Okay, we can do business need assessment. We can identify stakeholders, do a stakeholder analysis, prepare requirement gathering questions. I already showed you that. You can capture meeting notes. You can document requirements also using AI engines, and create UAT test cases, create user manuals, and also conduct research using AI. Yes, all of this is possible. Now, let me show you some of the templates, guys, which you can use in your project. Now, in the Zero Tech Business Analysis Framework, I told you there are some templates and formulas, isn't it? So we have a business need assessment template, which contains 40 to 45 questions for different business challenges: operation area question, finance area problem, sales area, marketing area. So depending upon the problem area of your customer, you can pick and choose which question to ask him. So these templates, which have inbuilt questions, become more handy when you do not have access to something called as ChatGPT. When you do not have access to ChatGPT, there are inbuilt templates that you can use. See, take a look at this requirement gathering template. Now here we use something called as the bus formula to create logical thinking among students so that they can create business-oriented questions, user action questions, and system response questions and non-functional features. So business-oriented questions contain who are the users of the feature, what are the demographics, what are the business constraints. All of those are business-oriented. User action consists of actions that the users perform on the screen. So non-IT people have a lot of problem understanding from a systems per se what questions to ask. So if you do not have access to AI, do not worry. You can always create these questions in a manual way using the bus formula. FRD templates. Take a look at this. You have been given FRD templates which tell you how to write requirements. Again, either you can derive these requirements from ChatGPT using that tool if you have access to it, or what you can do is these templates give you some ready-made requirements that are written there. Okay, so and you just need to fill in the blanks. So you can take those requirement statements and you don't need to sit thinking how to write a functional requirement. So the statements are given there for a sample project. You can just change a few data elements to match your project. Just change that and the requirement is ready to use. So it cuts down the documentation time by 50%, guys. By 50% it cuts down. So what is the key to success? I had asked this question to my mentor, what is the key to success? And my mentor told me that the key to success is use proven success methods and frameworks. These frameworks, these formulas have been created by experts who have walked the path before you, so that you do not waste any time figuring it out yourself. Never try to figure things out yourself in the project, because you waste crucial years in your career when you are figuring it out. I lost a lot of years at the beginning of my business analysis career when I was figuring it out. I was not taking action. I was not upskilling myself, but I thought I can read stuff from the internet and try to do it myself. Trying to do it yourself doesn't work. I realized when I was put in a performance improvement plan that things are just not working. So I need to do something to get my skills on par with the expectations for the role. Okay. So that's when I choose to get into a mentoring system, choose to upskill myself and get myself the right certifications that can help me become a successful BA. So that's a success formula, guys. That's a success formula for business analysis. How many of you today realized that there is a lot to learn in business analysis? Lot more to learn. Type LML in the chat box if you have realized that there's a lot more to learn. Type LML in the chat box, guys. How many of you also realize that it is easy to learn? Easy. Type easy in the chat box. How many of you also realize that it is easy to learn? There are templates, there are formulas, you just need to follow them. There are processes, there are frameworks. You follow the processes, frameworks, you follow the templates, it's easy to learn. Yes, easy peasy. And how many of you also realize that if you do not continue the learning journey, you will be experiencing the same career stagnancy, no salary hikes, and you will be allowing your peers and competitors to overtake you. How many of you agree with that? Type agree in the chat box, guys. Type agree in the chat box. So in order to help each one of you get into the role of a business analyst and become successful in your careers, we have built a business analysis blueprint program. If I have your permission, I'll go ahead and give you details of this particular program. If I have your permission, type yes in the chat box, guys. Type yes in the chat box if I have your permission. Thank you so much for your responses. So let me go ahead and give you details of this particular program. So this is the business analysis blueprint program. Okay. This program is your key to success in business analysis. Who can attend this program? This program can be attended by sales and marketing people, support professionals, because we have coached customer support and technical support people, bankers, insurance, healthcare guys, human resource recruiters, teachers, software developers and testers, and even existing BAs who want to improve their requirement skills. They can participate in this business analysis program. How this program runs, guys, let me tell you the format of this particular program. Every Friday, you will have a class. The class will be taken by me. The classes are run in the form of a hackathon. So every Friday, we will complete one concept of business analysis. Okay. Like, for example, our mission one is requirements gathering. Okay. So every Friday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST, give yourself 2 hours of learning, guys. 2 hours of learning. Engage in 2 hours of learning every Friday and learn all the business analysis concepts. So one Friday, we'll start requirements gathering. The coming Friday, we are starting requirements gathering. The next Friday, we do requirements analysis, where I'll help you understand how requirements have to be broken down into visual models, how you can do flow charts, how you can do screen mockups. The third Friday, we do requirements documentation. We talk about BRD, FRD. We talk about user stories, that's documentation. The fourth Friday, we talk about change management. We talk about change requests and how that has to be handled in project and how requirement prioritization has to be done. So we handle the entire requirement lifecycle and also cover the business analysis techniques. So each of these classes are run in the form of hackathon, which means I explain you the concept in the class, and then I send you in breakout rooms along with group leaders. The group leaders help you complete the activities that are assigned to you. Like in requirement gathering class, I teach you the entire requirement gathering process and how to use our requirement gathering template. And I make you create requirement gathering questions. And I ask you to go in breakout rooms, create those questions, and come back to the main room where I will evaluate the quality of questions that you have created. Got it? Clear? Type clear. So we run it as a challenge. Every week you have to complete an assignment and upload it into our server, which will be reviewed by my team. So it runs in an accelerated learning format, which means learn by doing it. I don't believe in teaching theory to anybody. Theory is available on the internet. Why should you come to me? So learn things by doing activities. So I make you do those activities. I make you create flowcharts. I make you write requirements. I make you write change requests. And we discuss a new domain every week. Every week, we have a new domain: banking, insurance, retail, healthcare, so that you have the flexibility to apply for a job opening from any domain. Yes, that's how these missions are. And what exactly is covered in each of these Friday classes is something that's coming in the upcoming screens. For example, requirement gathering, we cover a whole bunch of things. How to convert business needs into business requirements, what are the different types of requirements, how you can do a RASI matrix, and how to use the RET template and all of that. This is requirement analysis, different techniques of requirements analysis, documentation formats, BRD, FRD, user stories, and prioritizations. Prioritization in a change masterclass, change management class, we talk about the change management framework, the CR template. You are supposed to complete the change request form that is given to you. You learn different prioritization techniques also. Along with this Friday classes that you will have along with me, you will also receive this welcome kit, which are bonuses that come as part of this program. So you get an IT blueprint, which talks about different types of projects in the IT world, Agile, Scrum, Waterfall, how to follow these projects. Everything is there in the IT blueprint. Then we have all the entire requirement lifecycle, requirements framework, analysis, management. All of this talks about how requirements have to be handled in a project. And in some time, I'm going to open up these bundles and show you how the lessons have been structured. These lessons have activities associated with it. So a case study is discussed in the lesson. Each of those videos are just a 5-minute or an 8-minute video. So you can quickly complete multiple videos in a day. So requirements framework shows you a requirement gathering meeting happening in an office setup. And what are the challenges the BA is facing over there? You'll be able to know that. So I'll open up that particular bundle and show it to you in some time. Career growth funnel gives you resume templates. It gives you tips on how to prepare for an interview. This entire welcome kit you have lifelong access to. And the total value of this welcome kit itself is 35,999. As part of this program, you get it absolutely free. As part of this program, this entire welcome kit comes absolutely free. Now, during the training, you will also be exposed to several tools like the Visio tool, the Confluence tool, the Jira tool. You'll be seeing all these tools being used by experts, by group leaders over there, and you'll get an exposure to these tools as well. So net, all the gaps that we listed down during the gap analysis gets covered in the blueprint course. You will also become a part of our community. You will become a silver member in our community, where this community is the fastest growing community of business analysts here in India. Business Analysis Hub is the name of our community. Guys, as a coach, I always tell my students the fastest way to grow in a career is to be surrounded by like-minded people. So when you are a part of this community, there are industry experts over there. Anytime you face any issues in your project, you have lifelong access to the community. Post a question there and ask people. You'll see experts will jump and respond to your question. Hey, don't do this. Don't do it in this particular way. How many of you would like that kind of a support where lifelong there is someone who you can say that, things are not working well for me. What should I do? How many of you would like that kind of a support? That's the immense support that you get in this community. So the moment you are a part of our program, you get associated to a VIP Telegram group. You are added to a VIP Telegram group, and there you get all this post-training support. So students are constantly chatting over there. How do I use process modeling in our project, and I'm working in so-and-so project. How do I use this ABC technique there? So that's the beauty of being a part of a community. These are our hackathon students, guys. These are the hackathon students. The hackathons itself has a value of 19,000. As part of this mastermind program, it comes absolutely free for you. Then you have job assistance. Yes, like I tell you, that the bundle that I showed you, career growth funnel, that has a lot of documents, which are resume templates, which you can use for restructuring your resume. It also contains interview preparation videos, which tell you what are the frequently asked questions in interviews. And we also have special sessions for our community members where the members, come on a hot seat with me, and they discuss, either resume challenges or interview preparation. They ask those questions. So we have full-fledged lessons, full-fledged sessions where I tell them how to prepare yourself for an interview, what are the things that you need to keep in mind, and how to restructure your resume. These are some of the This is the summary of what I just told you. You get online coaching for 2 months, practice session, and courses and community that you have lifelong access to. So give yourself 2 months, guys. Every Friday, there is a live class, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. And you have all the recordings to back you up, even if you miss a particular session. Even after 2 months, you can continue coming to our Friday sessions. If you feel that you want to learn more, you can continue for 2 more months, 3 more months. Anytime you forget a concept that I taught you, you can send us a message and jump into our Friday calls at no cost, anytime. Because these concepts, I've seen that these concepts, once we teach our students, after several months, certain of those concepts evaporate. Okay, they forget. So they come back again. We say there's no need to join back our course. You can jump into our community calls and learn it once again. How cool is that? How cool is that? So you stay connected with us lifelong, guys. Lifelong community support. Yeah, the chat window is open for questions, guys. Post in your questions specific to your role or whatever it is. You can ask those questions. So our Friday classes are ongoing, guys. Even after 2 months, there's no end to it. You can attend as many classes as you want to attend. But your entire course, of course, gets over in 2 months. You can wrap up everything in 2 months. So this has been exclusively created for busy working professionals so that you don't have to sacrifice your Saturdays and Sundays. Most of the programs, when they run on Saturday and Sunday, you are sacrificing on your family time. 2 months of your Saturday, Sunday is gone. Okay. So this has been structured in such a way that Fridays, if you invest 2 hours, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., your Saturday, Sunday is totally free. Just think about it. Saturday, Sunday is totally free for you. And if you miss any Friday, you get all the recordings. That's not a problem. Yes, post in your question, guys. I would like to hear what your question is. Post your question, Nivedita. Oh, are you saying something? Just a minute. I think participants are unmuted. Yes, you can go and unmute yourself, Nivedita.
Ma'am, actually, I'm facing issue while paying the amount.
Oh, you're facing issue while paying the amount, is it? You got a payment failure?
Yes.
Okay, so might be a connection issue that you have had.
Okay, I'll try it once more.
Try once again.
Hi, ma'am. The chat is disabled.
Sorry, who's this?
The chat is disabled, ma'am.
Okay, is it? Oh, sorry. Good you told me. I did not see that. Sorry. Yes.
No problem.
Yes, yes. That kind of got frozen, I think. Yeah. Now you should be able to type.
Ma'am, I have a query. Hello?
Now I've.
Ma'am, one more question.
Thank you. Welcome to our community.
Ma'am, does this cover Jira and Vishu also?
From Aishwarya says from a senior QA.
True. Ma'am, one more question I have.
Yes.
Nivedita.
Yes, Nivedita, tell me.
Do you provide certification also, or this would be
Yes. Good question. Good question. You will get a business analysis blueprint certificate, if it has an IIBA logo, International Institute of Business Analysis logo and all. You get a certificate, business analysis blueprint certificate.
cost only 4,999 certification?
Sorry, what is that?
In this same cost only, what you
Yeah.
have?
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
You get a certification from our company, Business Analysis Blueprint, where you say that, okay, you have completed our course. Okay, if you complete the hackathon also, that means, Nivedita, if you submit all the assignments that I ask you to submit, like the creation of functional requirement, creating requirement gathering questions, if you submit all of that, we will review that and we release a hackathon certificate, hackathon completion certificate that you get additional. From, okay, Aishwarya's question, I just missed out. From senior QA with 8+ years of experience, which role should be you should apply, Aishwarya, for senior BA position. You have 8 years of experience. You should not let go of that. The senior consultant, the next step of a senior BA, that varies from organization to organization, actually. Like I told, in my company, after a senior BA, we became associate practice managers. In some companies, after senior BA, you can become get into a project management lane, or you can become account level manager, or that varies from organization to organization. Or consultant role also can be with the. How to crack? Oh, okay, Aishwarya, you are looking for a senior position. How to crack a senior consultant or product owner's role. For that, you need to have in-depth knowledge of product ownership also. See, product ownership is in alignment with business analysis. It's an offshoot of business analysis, product ownership. But there are some additional responsibilities a product owner also has. Certifications, if as a senior QA, I need to do IAB certifications, if you're talking about that, Aishwarya, it is not mandatory to do that. It's not mandatory. Some students do it because they want an additional badge from IABA. That's totally up to you. Because we don't have a whole bunch of companies hiring people only who has IABA certifications. We don't see that. Thank you, Abita. Thank you. Welcome. Welcome to the community. Okay, Srinivas has made the payment. Welcome, Srinivas. Sushant, what about placement assistance after the course completion? Can we get some referral assistance from previous students who are currently working? Well, like I said, you will be assigned to our business analysis group. You will be a part of a VIP Telegram group. You can always seek out for help. Okay, you can check with people. Are there opportunities in your organization? And placement assistance, when I spoke about job assistance, we have special sessions for our students where in the sessions itself, I guide you how to do your job search and what are the frequently asked questions, and also how to restructure your resume. So that kind of assistance is always there. I bring all the students together in one particular call and say, okay, this is a job search call where I tell you what kind of positions you should apply for and what kind of positions you should not apply for. Deepa Arun, Like I said, we give job assistance. We do not directly place you in any company. We are not a recruitment firm. Let me be very clear on that. I mentioned about the job assistance, which consists of interview preparation and resume restructuring. Neha, okay, very good question, Neha. How is ECBA certification course different from the BA Blueprint course? Very good question. Now, ECBA certification course is driven by the syllabus that's prescribed by IABA. So ECBA certification course, we are preparing you for the ECBA exam, right? And the syllabus is defined by International Institute of Business Analysis. We have to follow that syllabus. So we teach you based on the book that's published by them. So it's more theoretical in nature. Okay. So here in this blueprint program, I make you do activities. I make you do requirement gathering questions and the flow diagrams. Here I'm not preparing you for any exam. Okay. This particular program will not prepare you for the ECBA exam. So Neha, to answer your question, if you want to get the ECBA certification, then you can apply for our ECBA program, which is a separate program. Okay, that's a separate program.
Ma'am, Nivedita, this side I have one question.
Yes.
Yeah, I have paid the amount and now I want to know what would be the next process. Will I get a link for the other classes? How I can continue for 60 days training that I want to know?
Yes. So since you have made the payment, Nivedita, welcome to our community. The next steps will be each one of you, just hear it out, each one of you who have made the payment. Next steps is tomorrow you will receive the course materials, the video bundle that I've showed you. Those course materials will come to you, information technology blueprint, the requirements framework, everything will come to you. And my support team will call you up and you will get an invitation link for the Friday class. Like I said, if you want to join tomorrow, join it tomorrow, or you can join it from the coming Friday. No problem. You'll not miss anything. Okay. So every Friday, I will meet you for the live class and I will make you do several activities that will help you become a good, efficient BA in the project. So that's the next step. Tomorrow afternoon by 12 p.m., course materials will reach you and my support team will call you and tell you about the next steps.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, Abita, thank you for your payment, Abita. I have 10 years of experience as a data warehouse developer, currently on a career break. I always aspire to be an analyst. Do I have a scope to get into a BA role? Of course, you have scope. You can in fact, you have 10 years of experience as a data warehouse developer, right? Were you into hardcore coding? You have to tell me that, Abita. Were you hardcore into programming or handling at the surface level of programming? If you were into hardcore programming, then you can become a techno-functional analyst. That's the beauty of it. That's the reason. Okay, ETL coding. That's very good. That's good. You can become a techno-functional analyst since you have lots of valuable experience here. Yes, you have a lot of valuable experience. Meenakshi, you are a QA manager. How can this help you? And I believe you have lots of experience, like Meenakshi, I forgot, 8 years of experience or something you told me, right? If I'm not wrong. 15 years, okay. 15 years is a good amount of experience. So this Meenakshi enrolled for this particular program, and this program will help you understand how you can transition into a BS role, how to do requirement gathering. That the entire requirement lifecycle is explained here. So as a QA manager, you might be talking to business analysts on a day in and day out basis, right? So your target should not be to get into a junior BA position, a senior BA come product owner position. Okay. So I will, what you subscribe to the program, I will have a one-on-one discussion with you tomorrow, and I will create a career roadmap for you, Meenakshi, for that, because you are a senior level person, sorry, and you need to apply for senior BA come product owner position. Okay, so we'll prepare your career roadmap accordingly. Neha, like I already mentioned this, but in order to make a transition into a BA role, you need not do ECBA certification. Uh, Students in my community, they do ECBA certification totally based on their choice. Some of them will come and tell me, ma'am, please teach us the IIBS syllabus. We want to give that exam. I say, okay, if you want to give the exam, but it's not mandatory for transition. It's not mandatory, guys. There you'll see even in LinkedIn jobs or any job board, read the job description. You will see many jobs which are not asking for IIBA certification. There are some jobs where they have indicated IIBA certified candidates will be preferred. Okay. And in some geographies, it is very essential. Like for my students who are based out of Canada, IIBA is based out of Canada. So students coming from that geography, they say, ma'am, everybody here asks for IIBA certification. So I say, okay, go and take that particular program. That's how. So it differs from geography to geography. So Neha, if you want to go for ECBA, it's a good badge to have. It's a good certification to have. But understand, it's more theory, okay? Because we are preparing you for the exam here. So exam is theoretical. Srinivas says, I have 16 years of experience in BPO. My designation was Senior Associate Manager. I'd like to move in IT to get a better salary and to have a work-life balance. Shall I apply for Senior BA role if I get a 40? Yes. Yes, with 16 years of experience, just like I told Meenakshi, that with 16 years of experience, you should not get into junior position. You should target BA, Senior BA position. Yes, Meenakshi. Visio, when we do requirement analysis, you'll see instead of Visio, paradigm, which is like Visio and mental paradigm are siblings with each other, but there is very hardly any difference between both of them. Visual paradigm gives you dashboards where you can practice for free. So even at home, after I teach you, you can go back home and do a lot of things in that free dashboard. Visio is completely paid version. So I don't want you to simply pay licenses and buy software where you can do things for free. Okay. So it gives you a web-based front end which you can use at home and practice all the flow charts that I teach you. Sushant says, I have approximately 10 years of experience in handling global projects in automobile and manufacturing. How can I? That's good. That's good experience. 10 years of experience in handling. What is your current role? Mention that. When you say experience handling global projects in automobile, your role will tell you what kind of responsibilities that you're handling. Many people have come from the automobile sector. So I'm Neha, tomorrow's Friday class, we are talking about change management. Change request when it is given by a customer, how a BA need to fill in the change request form, do an impact assessment that we are going to do. Next Friday is requirement gathering Friday. Yeah, the coming Friday is requirement gathering Friday. Aishwarya says, since I'm a new mom, kind of skeptical to attend classes regularly, managing with a newborn, I understand that. Yes, Aishwarya, you can do that. It's all free in our community. We don't keep restrictions to our student. You can just, when my support team calls you, just tell them that, you will join the live class the coming month or something like that. You can tell them. Okay, whichever month you prefer, you say that I'm not joining it this month. I will join it the next month. So you can block your seat in the offer price, Aishwarya, and you can inform them. So they will mark you as, okay, June. Aishwarya is joining on the June month. They will mark you in the Excel sheet. Nivedita says, I have 7 years of experience in BPO as QA and 1 year's career break. Okay. Due to baby. and for which position I have to apply. So Nivedita, with 7 years of experience, you can look for a senior associate kind of a position. Okay. And when you say 7 years of experience in BPO as a quality assurance person, right? Okay. Senior associate BA position will be best for you because you have a career break. Otherwise, I would have suggested a senior BA position. 1 year of career break is there. So try for a senior associate BA, which is like between a junior BA and a senior BA. Senior BA positions are usually 6+. If that career break was not there, I would have said that you apply for senior BA. So try for both, whichever you get through first. Sushant says, handling customer requirements and conveying it to production team. Oh, this was in response to the role that you're playing in automobile, right? Okay, so Sushant, your existing role is totally in line with business analysis. Definitely, you can get into business analysis, and that will be your kickstart into IT. Now, from there, where you want to go, you want to continue in business analysis, you want to get into project management, you can get into different, you can choose that later. Deeparun says, I have 5 years of experience in EdTech sales. Okay. Now working as a business head. Okay, quite a bit of senior professionals have joined us today. Business head. Will the career shift be worth it? Okay, let me ask you, 5 years of experience in EdTech sales. What are the career related challenges you are currently facing that you want to shift? You're getting burnt out, or you're not getting a proper work-life balance, or not getting growth, not getting enough salary hike. Aishwarya says, my experience is in QA after completing your class. Can I put that as an experience in resume to land jobs? Well, the class that you complete with us, that you can definitely add in your professional qualifications. You can say business analysis blueprint course has been completed. And what are the skills that you learned? Deeparun says work-life balance due to which he wants to. It's worth it then. Then it's worth it. It's worth the shift then. I just wanted to know what were you looking for? Neha says, ma'am, I have 2.5 years of experience in customer support. Then in which role should I fit into? My domain is e-commerce. Okay. 2.5 years you're supporting the customer support experience into it. So you should look for a starting level role with 2.5 years of experience. You can look for a junior BA position, or even try applying for senior associate. Okay, so typically 0 to 2 years is junior BA positions where you are taken up, and I will send you, Neha, one video of a student who was in a customer support role as you. Keval, his name is. I'll send you his video. And we'll see how he's working now with BFS as a business analyst, but a very determined student who coming from a customer support background, he had such good skills to quickly upskill and learn everything in business analysis. So Keval felt that he was actually wasting his skills, and so he had picked up customer support as the first job that came after graduation. Okay, and then he was like stuck in that role for 2 to 3 years, and he felt that he's totally lost after 2 to 3 years. He felt totally lost. I don't want to pick up any more calls, he told me when he came to my call session. He said, ma'am, I'm tired of picking calls. I don't want to do it anymore. I know that I have better potential, better skills. Let me utilize it in a role that gives justice to my skills. So I will send you that video of Keval. You will resonate with that. If your domain is e-commerce, don't worry, you can apply for e-commerce projects, website development projects. There are a lot of websites that are IT companies develop for their clients. E-commerce websites like Amazon and all. So there are like, just like that, they have a lot of clients who require e-commerce websites. Abhita says, do you have courses on technical business analysis? So how technical, Abhita? You want to learn programming? Then I don't have any programming courses. If you want to learn visualization tools like Tableau, then we have courses for that. But programming and coding, I don't teach. I'm a functional person. And that's the reason every other person who comes for transition, I say, are you a functional person? If you are from sales and marketing, or if you are from customer support, human resource, recruiter, bankers, healthcare, all of them, they have a lot of good functional knowledge. People like you and me, we can't get into programming and coding. I tried my hands on coding, it did not work. So, Abhita, when you say technical business analysis, it also includes programming and coding. Oh, okay. Abhita is not talking about coding. She's talking about analysis, which involves querying of the databases and the visualization. Okay, so you can take the Tableau class also, Abhita. You can do that. That's a separate course if you want to take the Tableau class. So once you complete the blueprint, you can do the Tableau class. We have a Tableau coach who will teach you visualization dashboards, the pie charts, the bar graphs and everything, how to do that, how to query the databases and all. Sushant, that's a very good question, but it's difficult to answer in one session. How can you crack down a scenario-based interview questions? So during our Friday classes, guys, there are a lot of scenarios, project scenarios that I discuss in those sessions. When after I teach you that concept, whatever is the concept for the day, requirement gathering or analysis, whatever, I talk about certain project scenarios that we experienced when we were working, some challenges that we experienced. Students during my class, they write down those scenarios. Why do they write it down? Because if a similar kind of scenario is asked in the interview, they can replicate that scenario. Many students have copy pasted my scenarios and said that when they were interacting with the client, they faced this situation. So that's the crux of it. That's what we make our students do. Also, there is a separate book that's published by our institute. If you want, you can buy that book. It's very cheap. So that's also one book that I've written, the top 40 business analyst interview questions. So if you want, you can purchase that. That contains all scenario-based questions and all. Hi, Deeparun. Welcome to the community. Any more questions, guys? I think I've answered so many questions now. I don't think there are any more left. Thank you so much for asking so many questions. I like to help each one of you become a better BA, because I didn't receive this kind of a support at the initial stage of my career. That's the reason I do a lot of these workshops and help as many people as possible. You know, that's my guru dakshina to the to the mentor who coached me. Yes, Nivedita.
Yes, ma'am. My last question is, like I'm searching for a new opportunity as a BA in insurance sector. So, is my voice audible?
Cracking a little bit, but you are searching for a new opportunity, you said. Yes.
I'm searching for a new opportunity as a BA in insurance sector. As you mentioned in your session that in insurance industry as well, they are looking for a BA. So I want to know that in your training session for insurance sector, in detail, it would be covered. That would be helpful for me if I'm giving interview in insurance sector and insurance company.
No. See, in our classes, we discuss a case study. Insurance sector in a detail means you have to have multiple sessions for insurance sector, because a very huge sector it is.
Okay.
Okay, so we discuss specific case studies. Okay, this particular insurance company had so and so problem, and because these scenarios come in your interview, they had so and so problems, and they wanted to build this kind of an application, and you are gathering requirements with the client for that. So how will you go about gathering the requirements? What questions you will ask, and what kind of knowledge you should have prior to that requirement gathering session? All of that is discussed, because domains like banking and insurance, guys, they are very large domains. That if you go to learn these domains in detail, that will itself will consume several months. There are each of these domains have several subdomains within it. Okay. So as the classes go ahead, you will see how each of these domains are driven. Thank you so much, guys. I believe we are all ready. Most of you are excited to join tomorrow's session, and I'm excited to see you guys. And let me quickly show you that requirements bundle. I promised that I'll show you the requirements bundle. Let me open up that bundle and show you before I wrap up for the day. It's loading, guys. Give me a moment. I think internet is a little patchy today. Taking a long time to load. Oh, the site is not loading. Sorry, guys, the site is not loading. Not getting to load this. I wanted to just show you one requirement gathering video, which is very interesting, of BA gathering requirements in office setup. The video is just not loading right now. Some technical issue with our LMS. It's coming up, I think it's coming up. Yes, so tomorrow, guys, will be the change management section, where we'll talk about change that is raised in an e-commerce project. So retail industry is something that we are going to discuss tomorrow. So in an e-commerce project, a change request has come in, and the change request talks about XYZ feature. I will not talk about right now, but you will see, I will explain the feature and you have to fill in the change request form where I'll teach you how to do an impact assessment of that particular change. And as a BA, how will you fill in that change request form and submit it to your project manager as well as send it to the customer. So we'll explain you the entire process. Next week, we are going to focus on, next Friday, we are going to focus on the requirements gathering. Okay. And for people who are based out of Kerala, I will be in town next week. So some of you have already messaged me. I will meet you in person. Okay. So people who are based out of Kerala, so you have some of them have messaged me and also joined our Kerala group, and I will be meeting you in person. And then you can discuss about your career aspirations and what is the roadmap that you want. How do you see yourself 5 years from now? So every time I tell my students this, remember guys, with respect to your career, when you're starting off your career itself, you should start planning. What happens for most of us is that the initial beginning years of our career, we do not do any planning. I also did the same mistake. That's why I know. We don't do much planning. Whichever job comes our way, we just grab it. Okay, let's do this. So the initial years are absolutely wasted. Initial years, we are doing small, odd jobs. Like I was a content writer. What was I doing over there? I felt, because I was getting a lot of appreciation, I felt, okay, I'm doing very good job over there. But after all, I stayed in that junior level role for 4.5 years without any growth. I killed all that time, right? I could have easily moved into a senior level role in that 4.5 years if I would have taken the initiative, if I would have pushed myself and got into a different type of role. I would have not wasted those crucial years. So that's the reason I'm traveling to different cities, guys, to make people more and more aware that you should not take your career for granted. Start planning right at day one. I'm helping many people plan out their career, create a roadmap for the next 5 years where they want to see. And accordingly, if you have a roadmap, if you have a milestone in mind, guys, you can appropriately navigate your career. You know, if you feel in your current organization, you're not getting the growth that you deserve, you're putting in all the hard work that's required, but still there is something that's stopping you. You know, it might be several factors going on in organization. You can take the right step at the right stage in your career. Like I told you about the different specialization areas, you can pick and choose whether you want to grow in the product space, you want to get into consulting space, Deloitte Consulting, is that your target? Keep your target very clear right at the beginning. Okay, don't, even after you get into a business analyst role, don't take it for granted. Okay, I am now a BA. Let me be a little relaxed. Keep your end goal in mind. You know, you might have joined in a junior BA position, but you might be targeting to get into a consulting firm, your dream job in the next 5 years. If that's your target, you have to work towards it right from day one. Otherwise, things don't happen. Many of you here are senior level professionals. Okay, so you have to be very clear what kind of industry sector are you targeting. Do you want to be in IT services? It's fine. I've spent my entire life in IT services. I got very good growth there also. So you want to be in IT services, you want to be in a product firm, you want to directly apply for a consulting firm like Deloitte or EY, be very clear about it. And then you will see that your career goes in the right direction. If you are very clear of the path, then your career goes in the right direction. If you do not steer your career in the right direction, it goes haphazardly in. It's just like a car, right? It's just like a car. If the person who's driving the car is not driving it in the right direction, the car will go in any direction. If you leave the steering wheel. Okay, so I'm going to bring up this course bundle. This has come up now, guys. It took a lot of time to load. Yes, it's come up now. Now take a look at this video that I'm going to play, which explains. Yes. Here. So this is a requirements framework bundle that will come to you guys as part of the welcome kit. And it consists of loads of videos. If you look at these videos, they are all mini videos. Only one video is like 25 minutes. The rest all are mini videos if you see the time duration, so that you can complete the videos quickly and move to the next one. Take a look at this video. This is one of the favorite videos of my students. Watch this requirement video and answer the questions. Take a look at this. So here, I have posted a video which talks about requirements challenges. I am explaining the concept and the challenges that a BA comes across. And then I have asked the students to watch the video that's given over here and answer the question, who are the stakeholders in this meeting? What is going wrong in this meeting? And if you were the BA, how would you have better handled the situation? Okay. If you watch this video is all about how requirement gathering sessions are mishandled.
2 lines can be perpendicular. All 7 can't be simultaneously perpendicular to each other. I'll show you. This is a line, right?
Yes.
And another, is it perpendicular to the first line?
Well,
Yes.
everything amongst themselves. I assumed you know what perpendicular lines are like.
Of course he does. He's an expert.
2 lines can be perpendicular. All 7 can't be simultaneously perpendicular to each other. I'll show you.
Company has a new strategic initiative to increase market penetration, maximize brand loyalty, and enhance intangible assets. In pursuit of these objectives, we've started a new project for which we require 7 red lines. I understand your company can help us in this matter.
Of course. Walter here will be the project manager. Walter, we can do this, can't we?
Yes, of course. Anderson here is our expert in all matters related to the drawing of red lines. We've brought him along today to share his professional opinion.
Nice to meet you. Well, you all know me. This is Justine, our company's design specialist. Hello. We need you to draw 7 red lines, all of them strictly perpendicular, some with green ink and some with transparent. Can you do that?
No.
So that's a pretty long video, guys. That's a pretty long video. I'm not going to play the entire video, but let me tell you in synopsis, a little summary about it. If you look at the video starts with the client mentioning the business objectives. So she mentions that our company is embarking on an initiative to increase market penetration and brand loyalty. So each of the questions that are given as per the activity tells you to first identify the stakeholders, what are the business objectives of the client, and what is going wrong in this meeting. If you are a BA, how will you handle this meeting? And take a look at this, guys. Just below the video, you will see a whole bunch of students, 162 comments. Students have completed the activity and posted it for my review here. Shiviksha, a day ago. Customer sponsor, they are the stakeholders. Lack of communication, no clarity from the customer. These are the issues that she found. Created. Question number 3, she's answering, create a clear line of questions. Ask multiple questions till the time I don't get answers. All of this is coming from the coaching video that I uploaded before this video, where I've explained that a BA should be clear about these things. Look at this. Sheris has completed. Sheris is from UK. She has completed this assignment and she's posted here. Surabhi. Here. Harmol. Look at this. This is one of the favorite videos of our students where they see this requirement gathering session and they complete the activity. Some of them are put in Excel sheets. My answers are in the screenshot. Excel sheets, such detailed analysis. The reason we give these kind of videos and make students understand and gauge what's going wrong is that helps them build logical and analytical thinking. See, when you see others making mistakes, you are able to understand what are the things that you shouldn't be doing. So each one of them have stepped into the shoes of a BA over there in that meeting, and they have said, if I was a BA, I would have done the following things. So that's how we course correct. That's how we understand though that person is making these mistakes, and this is what is going. This is what is very unclear in this particular project. Yes. So each of those video bundles that you guys saw, guys, each of those video bundles that are there on the left-hand side panel also have been structured in such a way that even after watching a 5-minute video, you will get loads of learnings because activities are there. Each of these left-hand side videos, if you see, what are functional and non-functional requirements? Everything, all are the videos that
should
are
have.
conducted by.
So what are functional requirements?
That's
Well,
created by me. And you'll see a whole bunch of students who have engaged in these videos, and they've written, this is what I have understood by functional and non-functional. Because these videos are so simple to understand. Na? All of them, when you come to our community, you'll come to know all of them are coming with absolutely no IT background. But they are today working in different companies as successful business analysts. See how to use our RET template. The RET template that I showed you. How to use it for requirement gathering questions. The template is attached over here, and students have completed the template and they have posted here for my review. See, they have put in the Excel sheets and the templates for your review, Sajana ma'am, they have said. So cool. So we have simplified the learning involved in business analysis. When I started off my journey, this is one of the hurdles that I faced. I felt that business analysis is too complex to understand. When you read IIBA books, guys, it is very, very complex for you to understand what business analysis is all about. So we tell our students that we have decoded business analysis. We have made it very, very simple to understand for a non-IT person to embrace business analysis and grow in this profession. Thank you so much, Aishwarya. I saw your comment just now. Thank you so much. Yes, I will connect with you. Yes, I'll connect with you. You can drop a message and inform the support team. Okay, when they call you, you can inform the support team. Thank you so much, guys, for attending the workshop. It's pretty late, but you have stayed right till the end of this workshop. That shows your level of commitment. So I'll see you tomorrow. In tomorrow's class, the meeting links and invitation links will be sent to you tomorrow morning. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. God bless.
Thank you.